And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. We got a whole lot going on all over the internets, all over social media, all over mainstream media, everywhere. There's a whole lot happening. Shout out to Neil Young, way overplaying his hand, talking about, hey, it's me or Joe Rogan, Spotify. If you don't take Joe Rogan off, I'm leaving. Well, that threat did not go like he thought it would go. We'll talk about that in a minute. Also, shout out to Bari Weiss, a former New York Times and I think Wall Street Journal contributor, who said that she's done with the virus. She's totally finished with it. She's not feeling it too tough anymore. It's pretty much a wrap. We'll talk about that. And also, what else we got going on? There's a whole lot happening. Joe Biden calling Peter Doocy a dumb or a stupid SOB live on television. That was pretty interesting. That story pretty much died as soon as it came out. Now, we know if that was a certain orange man, that story would be all over the place. It wouldn't go away for months, weeks, years. You know how it is. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Also, shout out to the teacher, the sub. I'm not really sure where she was at, but she was forced to identify as a cat. We'll talk about that, I guess, a little bit more in a minute. And shout out to these super brave elevator Black Lives Matter mask Karens for slapping a black man because he's not wearing a mask and then saying Black Lives Matter. We'll talk about all those things and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again for being here. Definitely appreciate you guys. If you guys enjoy what you're hearing so far, if you enjoy the video, if you enjoy the content, please give this video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. And if you're listening to me on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether it be Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, Anchor, Apple iTunes, etc., please give me a 5-star rating. Give me a review. I most certainly appreciate you for that. And shout out to my sponsors. My merch site, it got kind of weird. Like, I let my domain lapse, but I bought it again. I was just a mistake. So if you go to ablmerch.com, maybe it'll work right now. Maybe it won't. I'm not really sure. But it'll definitely be back up and running in a couple of days, at the most, 48 hours. So I'm going to go ahead and plug it anyway, because it might be working. ablmerch.com. I saw some orders coming through on the site, and I'm like, how are any orders coming through right now when the site is down? It's just weird. The internets are like that sometimes, I suppose. But anyway, ablmerch.com. Check it out if it's working for you. Also, go to my regular website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. On there, you can find my email, my snail mail, all that good stuff on the contact page. You can find my social media pages, my on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can find all that stuff on anthonyblogan.com. You can also read articles, original articles that I write, and I source everything that I talk about. So I never just say things just randomly. I always have sources to back up what I say. Again, that's anthonyblogan.com, ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Also, shout out to my sponsors, other sponsors. You see these beautiful handmade wooden flags that are right behind me that you guys always ask me about? Go to bhedesigns.com to get one for yourself that are just like the ones behind me, or one of your very own, whether it's custom made from the website, whatever it is, you can find what you want on bhedesigns.com. You're right about that, NKM. Like I said, it's auto renew, but I'm just, I gotta tighten up and do better. But yeah, and also shout out to patriotpost.us. They are the best source of news and information anywhere on the internet, based right here in East Tennessee, right there on the mountain. Patriotpost.us. Check them out right now today. They are the best source of news, info, memes, whatever you want on the internet right now as we speak. So check all my links out to all my sponsors. Check all my personal links out in the description box below. They will always be there. In case you don't know where something is, just open the box and you shall receive. Now, where do we start? There's so much we got going on. Okay, there's so much. I'm gonna talk about. Oh yeah, matter of fact, talk about that first, because that's a good opener topic. Somebody said speak about the SCOTUS, Supreme Court of the United States situation. So this is, how can I say it? How can I say this? Okay, the whole thing with the Supreme Court is that Stephen Breyer is retiring. Now, Stephen Breyer, if you don't know, is a liberal justice, which is good because we don't have someone like Clarence Thomas or anybody retiring. I think the conservative justices are pretty much going to stay. Okay. I think Breyer was the oldest justice on the bench, and I think John Roberts or Clarence Thomas are the second oldest. So Roberts is 67, and let me see about Clarence Thomas. See how old he is. 73, so they're not going anywhere anytime soon. I think Clarence Thomas is going to be there. John Roberts is going to be there. And we just got three brand new conservatives on the bench. Like a couple years ago, Brett Kavanaugh, Neil Gorsuch, and Amy Coney Barrett. That's very important. Okay. So they're not going anywhere anytime soon. Okay. So that's really good. And Breyer, we got Alito as well. We all know about, is Alito still on the bench? Yeah, Alito's still on the bench. But anyway, as I was saying, so Breyer is a liberal justice and he's retiring. So Biden will be able to replace him with a liberal. And the reason why I said it's good is because you don't want a conservative to retire and have them replaced with a liberal, because that'll just make the balance less in favor of conservatives, put it to you like that. Because the way it is right now, on paper, it's 6-3 conservative liberals on the bench, but you could say that's 5-4 or 5.5 to 3.5 because of Roberts kind of being a waffling type person sometimes. But anyway, I digress. So the news has come out, the rumor has come out that Breyer's going to retire and they're going to replace him with a black woman. That's right, a black woman specifically. Okay, nothing necessarily about this person's ability to be on the bench, to be impartial, to be a good Supreme Court justice. It's not really about that. It's about the identity, 100%. Now, there have been some who have gone through the process already. I think at least one black woman went through a similar process, I think to be a federal judge, but didn't get confirmed. I'm not really sure what happened with that, but she's already been through the process, so it'd be easy to put that person in there and fast track them. I'm not sure what her name is, though, but they do want to have black women particularly on the bench to replace Breyer. Now, the question is, who is it going to be? Somebody tried to tell me Stacey Abrams. I'm like, if you don't stop, it's going to be a lawyer or a judge, which are the same thing. You can be, I think all judges are lawyers, if I'm not mistaken. Like, I was watching a video on the YouTube going down in my rabbit hole days, and I saw that you can be a lawyer one day and a judge the next day. Is that right? Or am I just saying that a little bit incorrectly? But either way, they're going to be a lawyer and or judge right now, I would assume. You don't have to be a lawyer or a judge to be a Supreme Court justice, but I think they want someone that's going to be like that. If you're going to be trying to make decisions on law and whatnot, they want you to be kind of on point. All right. A little bit, at least, aside from just being a black woman. All right. Now, I think the timing of Breyer retiring, as I was watching earlier in the news, they were saying that it's about him wanting to get out way in front of the midterms, because the midterms are going to be crazy. Man, I'm ready for it. I'm getting myself prepared. I mean, I've been getting phone calls and everything like, are you ready? Because we got to get stuff going now, because midterms are going to be before you know it. Before you know it, it'll be midterm time. And it's going to be a bloodbath. A lot of Democrats are retiring. I think I saw, 26 Democrats retiring or 27 Democrats retiring or not running again or something like that. It was crazy. It was totally crazy. And I think, let me see. I think that everybody on the Democratic side are trying to figure out the best way to go forward. They know it'd be a lot of retirement. They know it's going to be a bloodbath. A lot of the seats that are now taken by Democrats are going to turn red. We saw what happened in Virginia. That was pretty obvious. That was kind of an ominous thing, actually, where Virginia turned red. I thought I'd never see it. I thought that I would never, well, I won't say never. I never say never, but I didn't think I would see VA turn red anytime soon. Because as I said before on the channel, I'm from Virginia, grew up there, and I saw VA go from a solid red state to a solid blue state. I saw it gradually over a period of years. And the reason why is because of growth in Northern Virginia, which is a DC metro area. Okay, it's like East San Francisco, essentially. Well, not quite San Francisco. How about East, like, I don't know. DC is weird. DC is like New York, but smaller. Put it to you like that. So a more central southern New York City. That's DC. All right. That's probably the best way to put it without all the ethnic groups and their little enclaves. It's weird. But anyway, I did not think I would see VA turn red, but here we are. And that'll be the same case all over the country. A lot of these blue seats are going to turn red. So Breyer wanted to get out in front of it. So when Biden announces the next Supreme Court justice, it'd be a black woman. So that'd be kind of, I guess, an olive branch to the black community. I guess so, right? It's weird because I'm in some of these quote unquote spaces. A lot of black folks have talking about politics, and they complain about not getting anything from the administration. It's like, well, why are you complaining? You did not ask for anything. You just went out there and voted. You voted for Joe Biden because of the Obama connection, because you remember him from being with Barack Obama. You did not get anything from Barack Obama. So, and you didn't ask for anything from Joe Biden. So why would you get anything from Joe Biden? You're not going to get it. You're just not. Shout out to Invoke. But anyway, you're not going to get it. Never going to get it. So why are you mad about not getting anything? But the Democrats do little things to just say they did it, to counter an argument. So when I say something like, hey, Democrats do nothing for the black community, they just expect their vote and give them nothing. Well, they did. Well, actually, they did appoint a black Supreme Court justice, a black woman. That's what they'll say. It's like, really? Is that all you got? A black person got a job? Well, congratulations. Whoop-de-doo. Fantastic. Throw a parade. Call everybody and just have them come celebrate. Okay, bring the horse straight into the living room. Have the horse dance. How about that? Make it be a whole party that a black woman got a job. But what about you in your everyday life? What do you have for your vote, for your blind allegiance? What is that giving you? Zero, zilch, nada. But anyway, so they're going to get out in front of the nomination and they're going to announce a black woman. Now, who is it going to be? I have no idea. I have no idea who it's going to be. I'm not sure that it matters, quite frankly, because, I mean, you're not going to know who the person is before they actually get there. Now, to get confirmed, you got to have the Senate be on board. I don't think there's going to be any division necessarily. I don't think Manchin or Sinema are going to be against them unless they're totally radical. And I don't think Joe Biden would have the audacity to pick a super radical person. Okay, don't pick the black AOC. Don't do that. Pick kind of a regular normie Democrat. So that's what he's going to do. So it'll be easier to go to get him confirmed. Because what it'd be really embarrassing is if Joe Biden endorses somebody and has everybody else that he knows, like a lot of Barack Obama, if he wants to do something, have all them endorse this person, but then they don't get confirmed because some Democrats are against it. That'd be very embarrassing. So I think it's less about worrying about us on the right and more about worrying about them on the left. Are they going to be okay? Are they going to play ball? That's the main thing. So yeah, we'll see what's happening here. Somebody says, how about a blind trans cyclops as a Supreme Court judge? That might be what you do right there. That might be the best way forward. To hit all the diversity marks, go ahead and get the super woe is me type person. Go ahead and get them. Right. But anyway, we'll see what happens with the next Supreme Court justice. And I think that'll be his only nomination as far as Joe Biden. There won't be anyone else that needs to get nominated. God forbid anybody pass. I don't think that's going to happen. But I don't see any retirements for any of the justices. I don't see Clarence Thomas or anybody like that trying to retire. Yeah, I don't really see that. So we'll see what's going on here pretty soon. But thank you all for being here. Definitely appreciate you guys. If you guys enjoy what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. And what else we got going on? We got a whole lot happening here, actually. Let's talk about Let's talk about the cat teacher. Now, have you guys seen this TikTok? Have you guys seen this TikTok of this teacher? She's a sub. I'm not really sure where she's teaching, like what school district, what city, state. I'm not really sure. Somewhere in America. But this teacher claimed that one of the kids in the class, identified as a cat, and she got sent to the office because she did not play along with it. Let's see if I can find it right quick. Give me 1 second. Hold on.
Just when I thought.
There we go. Let me see if this will work properly the way I want it.
I've got to rant.
There we go. Here we go. So here's a video. I'm gonna put it on the screen right quick. And there we go. Alrighty. So this lady is on TikTok. She's a sub teacher, and she's going to give you her experience about some boy, girl, whatever kind of gender they want to identify as, coming out as a cat to her in the classroom and wanting her to play along, essentially.
Got to rant for a minute. Just when I thought school couldn't get any weirder, it did today. I'm a sub, and the most important thing we do is take roles so the school gets paid. So I'm looking at the seating chart as I'm going up and down the rows and marking who's here and who's not. I get to the third row and I hear this meow.
Now, okay, let's pause for a moment. If you hear that in the classroom, what are you going to do? Like, if you know for a fact there's no animals in the classroom, there's no cats in the classroom, and you hear a meow, what are you going to do? If you're hearing farm animals, house animals in the class, what's your next course of action? Y'all tell me.
Excuse me? Excuse me? I start looking on the ground. Go to the fourth row, everything's good. Go to the fifth row, everybody's there. Then I hear meow. I'm like, okay, what's up with that? Who's doing it? And this little girl in the very front row says, you have to meow back at him. He identifies as a cat. Are you kidding me? I said, is there a litter box in here somewhere? My sarcasm self probably shouldn't have said that. He gets up and he storms out of the classroom. And I'm like, rough. And of course, the entire class is laughing. And I think, no problem, no foul.
You know, back in my day, if a kid was to be meowing, it'd just be a joke. Trying to troll the sub, acting up, that'd be what it was. I would do something like that when I was younger, for sure. Okay, just because, because you're a kid and you do dumb stuff like that. But see, now, these kids are dead serious. It's like, nah, I identify as a cat. I'm meowing. You got to meow back. And if you don't meow back, then you're not recognizing my cat sovereignty, and you got to go to the penitentiary. That's the kind of mind state that a lot of these kids have. And I'm not going to say it's 100% their fault, because where are they getting that from? They got to get it from somewhere. If you are a kid doing that, you didn't just say, you know what I want to do today? I want to identify as a cat, and I'm going to be in the classroom meowing. And if they don't play along, then I'm going to go tell on them. That would never be a thought in anybody's head back in the day, because how could you do that? How would that actually go over? It wouldn't. But let's continue.
I go to the office. You ready for this? You check out. They said, we no longer need your services if you can't identify with all the children in the classroom. And you wonder why they don't have any subs. I told the lady, I said, I didn't know cats were considered people. I thought they were pets. Another school off my list. Okay, so
I think that she said, she didn't get fired right there. I think she was given an ultimatum. It's like, look, if you can identify this person as a cat, then we don't need you here anymore. So she probably played along with the whole thing and identified or recognize this person's catness. Now, did she meow or what? I don't really know. I would presume that she did go ahead and just crack the meow when she went back to the class. I mean, I don't know how that really ended, but she said on her TikTok she did not get fired. Okay, probably because they don't have enough staff and they can't fire her anyway. So that defeats the whole point, the whole purpose of the office visit. Don't call me in the office for not meowing at this person and barking because it's funny. Don't do that because you don't have any subs anyway. What you gonna do? Get the cafeteria lady to come and take my spot? Okay, she gonna be in between cooking them square pizzas, right, with the little pepperoni cubes on it, which were fire, by the way. Get one of them things burnt up a little bit on the edge. Oh, amazing. I've not had pizza like that since, but I'm exaggerating. But anyway, the point is that what you gonna do with the, okay, so she gonna be in there frying tater tots, French fries, ranch dressing, all that kind of stuff. She gonna be in there preparing that for the kids to eat for their lunch. And then in between that, she's going to be in there on the chalkboard talking about 1 + 1 is 14. Like, how are we going to do that? But anyway, it's just weird. So I think that was just them trying to reprimand her to say they did something. Because these kids in a lot of these areas, a lot of these liberal areas are very coddled. And again, I'm not going to say it's 100% these kids' fault because they're kids. Where did they get this from? They're not just waking up one day thinking about doing things like this. They're enabled by these adults. Now, what reason would an adult have to allow a kid to change his gender, change his species? What reason would they have to do something like that? I don't know, but I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm trying to add 1 + 1 to get 2, not 14 or 1D1. That's all I'm trying to figure out. But anyway, but see, I've heard that kind of story before. There was a story coming out of, I think, a school in Michigan, close to Detroit, where there was an allegation about kitty litter boxes being put in the bathrooms because some of the students identified as furries. If you've not seen a furry before, I'm gonna try to find one. And I understand that I might find something weird, but I got my safe search on, so there ain't no problem. Ain't gonna be nothing. Because one thing about these furries is that they get really weird. I'm talking about like weird beyond belief. And I'm not trying to show you guys nothing you shouldn't be seeing. See something already weird right there. It's not quite weird, but too weird for the television, too weird for your computer screens. Okay. So here's a okay picture of some furries. It's not X-rated because they be like that. So if you go on Google, like put it to you like this. If you're the kind of person that needs evidence, right? You want to see evidence, you want to back up what I'm saying, and you say, you know what I want to do? I want to Google search furry. You've been warned. You might not like what you see. You may see something disturbing. If you got kids around, hey man, hide your kids, hide your wife. It's not too pretty, but I will move right along. So here is a G-rated picture of some furries. Now, they identify like this. This is pretty much them, right? This is pretty much them. And they walk around like this with their animal costumes on from head to toe. All right, the furry helmet down to the furry shoes and the gloves. You got a tiger, you got a cat, you got all types of animals right here, and they walk around identifying like that. So what I heard was that they put a kitty litter box in some Michigan school because some kids identify as a cat. Okay, they identify as a cat. Now, that was later, they said that was false later, but the fact that it could have been real lets us know where we are. The fact that it might have been real still, and they just denied it after they cleaned it up, lets us know where we are. Where you get real, actual kitty litter boxes in the high school bathroom because some of the kids identify as a cat. Now, my question is, how you going to be, like you talking about high school, how you going to be a 6 foot tall basketball player doo-dooing in the kitty litter box? How is that going to work? I don't understand what they're really talking about, but I would not be surprised if you saw that kind of thing in the future. If you saw that, I wouldn't be surprised. Right? I saw a picture of a bathroom, probably some public restroom somewhere, and they had these black smooth rocks inside the urinal. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find a picture just of the urinal, nothing weird. And what I said was, matter of fact, here it is. This is the exact picture too, actually. But what I said was, hey, this ain't quite the exact one, but it's close enough. It'll work. Matter of fact, let's do this one. But my question was, hey, well, not my question. How I explained it was, you got people that go into the restroom that are not men. You have women, biological XX women going into the men's restroom. So when they see a urinal, they don't know what that is. They don't know what to do with that. They don't even know what the first step to using a urinal. They never seen it. So these rocks are a sign. Do not doo-doo here. Okay, this is not a regular toilet. You may see a little toilet hole in the bottom, but this is not a regular stall. This is a urinal. You pee, no doo-doo. It's like you gotta train kids to do this kind of. You know what I see with all this stuff, with all this LGBTQ, LMNP, XYZ? I see a bunch of children seeking attention. That's really what it is. That's really what it is, man, because some of the things we're talking about are just like, come on, man. What are we doing? I heard a conversation on one of these Twitter spaces about gender, and I kept hearing the comment that talking about, oh, well, gender and sex are different. You can be born as a certain gender, but be a different sex, or I don't know what they were trying to say. It's like, look, man, this is not difficult. Why are we trying to make such simple things so complex? It's like trying to reinvent the wheel, literally. The wheel is round, it's smooth, perfect circle, it rolls. It makes things easier to move from point A to point B, right? So why try to reinvent that? It's so simple. Men have XY chromosomes, women XX. Now, don't talk about extra chromosomes and stuff like that. I'm talking about just regular people. 99.99999% of the world is like this, and everybody knows it. If you're something different, then that means you have some kind of disability. We're talking about regular people that are able-bodied and don't have any kind of thing they were born with that's beyond their control. Like somebody was trying to compare a trans person to an intersex person. It's like, no. Intersex means you have like extra chromosomes. You have a physical difference between yourself and a male or a female. It's a physical difference that you were born with. Not, well, I was born looking like Tom Brady. Now I want to become Giselle, so I may get a sex change. That's not how that works. You know what I'm saying? You still are, you know what I mean? Jacob Hammer Schmidt or whatever your name was at birth. That's just what it is. Nothing against nobody. I don't have no hate for nobody. I love everybody. As long as you don't put your hands on me. I'm the nicest guy in the world. I'm Mr. Rogers. I'm no big tough guy. I'm super cool, super nice, right? But I'm just saying, these are just facts. Don't get mad at me and upset with me. These are just facts. It's all. Ain't nothing else to it. Larry Bird, what's a man name from Gonzaga? Adam Morrison, whatever you were born as or look like, that's just you. That's just you. Just live with that. Embrace that. I embrace who I am. I embrace being a male. I think everyone should embrace who they are. Okay, everybody can't be looking like, these handsome celebrities or beautiful women or whatever. And that's fine because everybody's different. Everybody has their own unique thing that makes them them. Embrace whatever makes you you. Okay, you could change certain things though. I mean, if you weigh 1,000 pounds, get off that bed and do some crunches or something. You know what I'm talking about? Stop eating a whole dinner tray. Have you ever seen that show, 600 Pound Life? I happened to cross it one time, and this lady was eating in her bed, and she had a whole server tray full of food. You ever seen a server tray? Like you go to Applebee's or whatnot, and they come out with the tray like this, right? They got the drink and everything, and it's not falling. It's like leaning like this, but it's not falling. So they come to the table like this, right? She had that whole tray with food on it. I'm talking about. It was like a whole sun. It was crazy. It was lady beside her with a regular plate. The difference in the plate was like the earth and the sun. You see like how they compare it? The earth was like a little dot and the sun was like this whole big thing. That's how big the person's plate was compared to the whole big server tray full of food. It was crazy. It was nuts. I'm like, okay, maybe if you stop eating a whole server tray full of food 8 times a day, you might lose a few pounds if you are 1,000 pounds. My whole point is, if you can change certain things about yourself that should be changed, that, point towards your health, you can do it. Go ahead and go for it. But when you're talking about things that you really can't change, just accept it. Accept it. If you're a male, you don't have to be the biggest, toughest, roughest guy. That might not be you. Contrary, or on the other end, you don't got to be Mr. Softy either. You could be whatever you want. That's you. As long as you don't hurt nobody, damage nobody, it's all good. But I'll move right along. I ain't trying to preach to you too much now. Speaking about you can move right along and not hurt nobody, shout out to these Black Lives Matter Karens. Now, I've seen people get offended at the term Karen, saying it's a racial slur. It's not a racial slur. Okay, we can't just create racial slurs like that. Racial slurs have like some kind of history behind it, not just the N word, but other words as well. My Italian friend, he had to educate me about this term called WOP, W-O-P. I didn't know what that meant. I was just outside kicking hacky sack, and I was saying WOP. And he was like, man, what are you saying? I was like, I'm just making an expression, like a noise. He was like, well, that means without passport. They said that to a lot of Italians when they came to New York. I had no idea. See, there's a history there, right? There's a history there. Same thing with the word for the Jews and everything else. There's a certain history behind these slurs. Karen, I mean, is that a real history behind that? Hey, somebody on the internet called this lady with one of these kind of bulldaggery haircuts and some sunglasses a Karen. So when you use that against a white person, it's a racial slur. That's not how that goes, right? That's not what it is at all. Okay. But anyway, these people earned the term Karen because of how they were acting on the elevator. Now, without papers, yes, without papers and without passport. I had no idea what that meant, but I got educated about that, about the history behind it. So now, this person or these people were freaking out about the mask. They were freaking out about the mask because the person got on the elevator without the mask on, apparently, and they're freaking out. They got these big, they got these big N95s, man. Like these masks are humongous. You're talking about a whole carburetor, like you're talking about like an engine block on their face, humongous mask. So they have these masks on, and I guess the guy that got on the elevator did not have a mask on. So if they are really upset and they're trying to get him to get off the elevator. Now, it's funny how these people would be seen as racist by the left if they were some kind of way conservative or something like that. But since they are, let me tighten up right here. Since they are in favor of mask wearing, then it's not really your problem. It's all good. It's funny how that works. That was a true story, Long Tongue Son. I promise. I could bring my man on right now. I could bring on my Italian friend who's also named Anthony. And he'll tell you about that story because they came from New York. Because everybody in VA, like if you're living in Virginia, you're from New York or in the military or you're native. That's pretty much what it is in Virginia. Half of my kids I grew up with were from New York somewhere. Or I'm from Long Island, I'm from Queens, I'm from Brooklyn, Red Hook, Staten Island, all kind of stuff in Virginia. Obviously, me, I'm not from New York. I'm from West Virginia and then Virginia. So that's kind of the way I talk. That was a true story. I never lie on this show, ever. I don't make up stuff. But anyway, back to this particular story. So you got the elevator Karens freaking out over the mask because she got these humongous masks on. Look at this. Do you see the size of this? Like, what is in there? What is in there? Is that like, this is a bucket. This is a Home Depot or Lowe's bucket for paint and tools and whatnot. You got that on your face as a mask. Okay, these people are totally scared because what the media have done to them, right? But anyway, let's check this out.
Get out.
Get out.
Yo, stop.
Get out. Get out.
What you guys doing?
Get out.
Get out.
Get out.
What you guys doing?
Get out.
What's wrong with
Get out.
you?
Get out. Don't touch me.
Don't you have
Do
kids?
not touch me.
Get out.
Do not touch me.
Get out. I'm not touching you.
Get out.
So then she just slaps him, boom, with the phone. Like, you just touched me, bam.
Oh, did you just hit me? Did you just hit me?
You just hit me.
You just hit me? You too?
Black Lives Matter.
Yo, this is racist. Wow.
She says, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. That's a safe word right there. Oh, I just shot you. I bring your house down, But Black Lives Matter, it's all right, right? Don't call the police on me, please. Don't hit me. Black Lives Matter.
You too?
Black Lives Matter.
Yo,
Black
this
Lives
is
Matter.
racist. Wow.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives
Black
Matter.
Lives Matter.
Stop. Yo, stop recording me. I don't know you. Yo, you need to stop.
Get out.
I'm not getting out. I was here
Yes, you
first.
are.
See, you know what? Stuff like that, that's crazy. This is hysteria. I'm glad I don't live in a place like this where people are going nuts over the mask thing, because I don't want to get hit by nobody. You know, like I said in my video about this, I'm a peace-loving guy. I'm not no big tough guy. I'm the nicest guy in the world. I appear to be some kind of guy that might home invade you, but I promise I'm not. I'm not even that type of person. I'm a really nice guy. So I don't want to get hit by nobody, because now I have to defend myself. I have to. If they came on there and said, get off the elevator, I'm not leaving. I'm gonna stare at them. I'm gonna just stare straight through them. Like I don't even, like they're not even there. Okay. And then when I get touched, now we got a problem. I'll record myself here as well, because I want to protect myself, because if they touch me and things go weird, I don't want to have anybody try to say, oh, you beat up them old women. It's like, hey man, equal rights and less. Equal rights and less. I'm the nicest guy in the world. I mean, you want this shirt right here? You can have it. No problem. But don't touch me. Leave me alone, and I'll leave you alone. That should be the way that everybody operates. Leave me alone. That's like the libertarians, right? A non-aggression principle. Okay. That does not really work in reality, because people get weird sometimes like this. And when they get these bug eyes like that, you know, then now you might be in a weird situation. They're not thinking logically, they're thinking emotionally. So you got to go ahead and give them the cripple across face. R.I.P. Chris Benoit. But I'll move right along. So yeah. And my thing is, I think the government are trying to stop all this hysteria. They're trying to stop this. These crazy bug guys. Okay, you're touching your mask. Your whole nose is out. Your whole nose is out. It's like, what good is your mask doing? Nothing. Okay, your nose is out. Your eyes and everything are bugged out. You're crazy. The government are now saying, hey, the mask don't work. They don't really offer you that much protection. N95 might work a little bit better. But your cloth mask does nothing. Haven't we said that here on many occasions? Didn't we say that about 2 years ago, right when the whole thing started? Anthony Fauci himself said that 2 years ago. Matter of fact, I'm going to find that clip. I'll play that every day. I'll play that clip every single day of my life. Matter of fact, because I was able to find that. So hold on.
What's your belly tell you?
Oh, there we go. This is from March 8th, 2020. So almost 2 full years ago. Almost 2 full years ago. Let's check out what Dr. Anthony, quote unquote, Dr. Anthony Fauci said.
About where we will be in about a year. What's your belly tell you about where we will be in about a year?
I don't think we've seen the worst yet. I think we'll still continue to see more infections. I hope by next year at this time, we will have gone through a cycle and we don't have a second season of it. And if we do, hopefully we have a vaccine that might be able to help with public health measures to mitigate the impact.
Could we be helped by the fact that this virus tends to like cold and dry, and it doesn't like warm and moist?
We could. Respiratory viruses in general, the concept of a respiratory-borne illness.
Let's pause right there. Remember when Trump said about the summertime, the virus would die? Now, he wasn't correct about that, but he wasn't too far off. You know, the media said, oh, he's dumb. You know, the heat won't kill it, all this, that, and the third. But you just heard the interviewer ask Fauci about that, and he was like, yeah, the warm weather does make a difference. When it's cold and dry, it's easier for the virus to transmit. He just said that. So that's not that far off of what Trump was saying, but they called Trump a ridiculous nut job and whatnot for saying that exact same thing. It's crazy how the media operate when you think about it.
Illness like influenza or other cold viruses, even coronaviruses, tend to diminish as you get into the warmer weather for a number of reasons.
See?
People tend to stay outside more as opposed to closed spaces. The virus itself It doesn't like warm, moist as much as it likes cold, dry. So that it is conceivable on principle alone that that could happen. But there's no guarantee that this particular coronavirus is going to diminish when the weather gets warmer. But I hope.
Okay, that wasn't the clue I was looking for, but still, that was a pretty good one. I'm gonna find the one they're trying to hide it. They're trying to hide it, but at a certain point, they can't. Hold on, let's see.
There's a lot of confusion among people and misinformation surrounding face masks.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. This is the good one right here. This is, again, March 8th, 2020. Almost 2 full years ago. Almost 24. We're at about, 22 months right now? 23 almost. So almost 2 full years ago, this is what Fauci said about the masks. Let's start from the very top. This is from 60 Minutes. You can find it right here on YouTube. It says March 2020. And it's funny because of how they titled it. It says March 2020, Dr. Anthony Fauci talks to Dr. John LaPook about the virus. But they don't tell you, they're kind of burying the lead right there. They're not telling you that he says don't wear a mask in the title. You see how they do? Always be looking at how they present the truth. They'll try to hide it from you.
There's a lot of confusion among people and misinformation surrounding face masks. Can you discuss that?
The masks are important for someone who's infected to prevent them from infecting someone else. Now, when you see people and look at the films in China and South Korea, whatever, everybody's wearing a mask. Right now in the United States, people should not be walking around with masks.
Let's run it back one more time. Let's just run it back because he said it. I didn't say it. He said it. He's the one that came out there and said what he said. Let's run it back.
Everybody's wearing a mask. Right now in the United States, people should not be walking around with masks.
You're sure of it? Because people are listening really closely to this.
Right now, people should not be walking. There's no reason to be walking around with a mask. When you're in the middle of an outbreak, wearing a mask might make people feel a little bit better, and it might even block a droplet, but it's not providing the perfect protection that people think that it is. And often, there are unintended consequences. People keep fiddling with the mask and they keep touching their face.
And can you get some schmutz sort of staying inside there?
Of course. But when you think masks, you should think of healthcare providers needing them and people who are ill. The people who, when you look at the films of foreign countries and you see 85% of the people wearing masks, that's fine. That's fine. I'm not against it. If you want to do it, that's fine.
But it can lead to a shortage of masks.
Exactly. That's the point. It could lead to a shortage of masks for the people who really need it.
So this is, again, March 8th, 2020. He said that the mask ain't gonna do you no good, might block a droplet or two, but really there's no purpose in wearing it. If you want to, that's fine. If you feel better, if it's like a nice little safety blankie, a nice little warm blankie, your mask, then go ahead and go for it. But it's pointless. And the N95, I think they're paper, right? So when you are eating your food with your mask on, the dumbest thing in the world. Okay, you're going to have your mask on, lift it to show us some food in your mouth, right? And then close it to chew. You're going to get that wet. You're going to get that wet. You got your sweet tea, lemonade, Arnold Palmer. You got your lamb chops, your pork and beans, whatever you got going on in your restaurant, in your house, or whatever you are wearing the mask. You're going to get that mask wet and filthy. But what he said is going to be some schmutz in there. There's going to be a whole lot of schmutz in your mask. So if it becomes wet, it becomes useless. So the mask that was already kind of pointless becomes even more pointless. So these mask Karens are just acting crazy for no reason. Well, there's a reason. I'm a backtrack. The reason is they've been driven to this point by the media, giving them false information, telling them that everybody's got to wear a mask, and if they don't, they're going to die. It's like, look, man, if you're that worried about kicking the bucket, then life might not be your best, the best move for you. But I'll move right along. Thank you all for being here. Definitely appreciate you guys. If you guys enjoyed what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Now, here is what I was talking about. You guys, if you're on my Facebook page, you have seen this particular sign from Woke Forest University, also known as Wake Forest in North Carolina. Now, this is pretty much the absolute state of what we got going on. You see what it says? It says masks on between bites and sips of food and drink. Why? For what? The cloth masks don't even work at all. I saw a guy with an N95 with a hole in the middle so he could eat his food. Like an actual hole. Like, it wasn't even like a zipper. It was just a straight hole. It's like you have an N95, but it has a hole in it. It's purposeless. He also had on a face shield. So he went to a particular spot, wherever he was. I'm not really sure where it was. He went to a particular spot with a face shield and an N95, took the face shield off, put his food down, and began to eat through the hole in his N95. I'm not making it up. If I could find that clip, I'll play it. I promise I will. But stuff like that just makes me be like, what? I'm so glad that the government are now coming out and saying that this stuff don't really work. I saw that Scott Gottlieb, who is the former head of the FDA, and now he is on the board of Pfizer. Funny how that works. How you go from the FDA to Pfizer? Anyway, Scott Gottlieb said that it's time to stop all the mandates. It's time to stop the mandates. Hold on, let me see if I can find it right quick. So here we go. So here's another funny headline. Very funny headline. And the reason why it's funny is because of what I just said. They're not telling you the full story. Okay, let's go ahead and put this on the screen. Okay, so it says, matter of fact, this is on dailymail.com. It says, ex-FDA chief Scott Gottlieb calls for end of divisive mask and vax mandate, says virus cases plummet 12% in 7 days. Now, the reason why it's funny is because it didn't say ex-FDA chief and current Pfizer board member, which is what he is, Scott Gottlieb, right? So if the guy that has an interest in what's going on here financially, if you're on the board of Pfizer and you were also at the FDA, you have a vested interest in requiring, or what they say requiring, but mandating vax and masks and whatnot. You have an interest in that. He's saying, nah, it's time. If he's saying it, then it's over with. And also, if you guys haven't seen, Biden, the administration have backed off of the vax mandate for private business. So I think the Supreme Court struck it down. And then Biden's team went ahead and just said, okay, we're going to stop. So a lot of you guys have been asking me about, the vax mandate. If you got a job that's just kind of requiring you get the vax mandate, and they're trying to cite OSHA and the government and whatnot, it's over with. And the advice I gave, maybe it's good advice, maybe it's not. I'm not really sure. I'm not a professional in that sense to give you that kind of advice. Pardon the weird Kim Kardashian ad on the side. Let's go ahead and just move out the way. Thank you. But I was saying, hey, if they try to fire you at your job because of the vax mandate, or they try to put you on leave without pay, just stay on leave without pay and find some other kind of job to do, find something else to do in the meantime, because A, you can get that job back potentially, or B, you could sue and win for lost wages or whatever potentially. I'm not sure how it's really going to play out, but you see the headline right here. It says Biden's vax or test mandate for businesses to be nixed by OSHA tomorrow. And this was yesterday. So as of right now today, they don't enforce that anymore. Not from OSHA. Now, your company may have a vax mandate and or a mask mandate. I think this is about the vax mandate. Your company may have a vax mandate. However, they can't say it's the government making them do it. It's just their policy. Then at that point, it's like, okay, do I have freedom here? Is it constitutional or what's going on? Okay. If the federales can't do it, why can you do it? What's happening here? Now, I heard about Carhartt. What happened with Carhartt? Did Carhartt have a vax mandate? Wait a minute. Let me just make sure I have that particular story correct. I got all kind of Carhartt beanies and I have a Carhartt jacket. So I gotta burn my Carhartt stuff. Is that what we doing? Oh, okay. I see it right here. So it says Carhartt holds firm on employee vax mandate. We stand behind our decision. Wow.
Restaurants.
So is there a video that goes with it? Hold on. Let me see if this might be it right here. I don't understand the purpose though. Carhartt out of anybody? Carhartt, like, why would Carhartt out of every company in the world uphold a vax mandate? Well, you know what? I kind of understand. Carhartt has become something different. Carhartt, if you guys don't know, it's like a workwear clothing line, I guess you would say. Guys are working real cold conditions and other kind of stuff. You know, they make work clothes, basically. I know them for having cold weather stuff. I got Carhartt beanies and I got a Carhartt jacket, very warm. I like it. But they're known for kind of being more for work. But now I'm seeing some of these Instagram guys, like these guys that have never picked up like these guys have no tools in their house. They have no toolbox. They don't got a basic Phillips head screwdriver anywhere in their house at all. And they're going taking photo shoots wearing Carhartt and looking real clean and pretty and whatnot. Some guys doing that. So maybe that's the kind of direction they want to go in. They want to go more in the soy boy direction with their brand. And other companies can take the mantle of being for workwear. What's the other workwear line? It's not Carhartt that a lot of you guys wear. A lot of you guys at work, you know, in cold or in rough areas, but in heavy equipment. What's the other workwear line that you guys like to wear? I heard about as far as shoes like Red Wing and Skechers and Timberland, obviously. But aside from those, what's the other one? Here's a video.
This is the last weekend before the proof of vaccination or a negative test requirement goes into effect for ticketed events in St. Paul and Minneapolis.
It starts Wednesday for ticketed events and runs through February.
Oh, no, that ain't it. So ticketed events, that's not what I'm looking for. Yeah. But anyway, that's what's going on with Carhartt. I don't really understand because it's not something that the government are trying to enforce anymore. Dickies, yeah, of course I got Dickies. Columbia, Duluth, yep, Duluth, yep. Burn, Ben Davis. Right, exactly, Jamie. Jamie says Carhartt is the new Jordan to the cool people. Correct. Correct. Red Wing boots are very expensive. Yeah, I would assume so. But if you get a nice pair of boots, and they're not going to fail on you, they're going to feel comfortable. That's really important. That's very, very important. Duluth, yeah, I heard about Duluth. That's probably the best one. Wrangler, Dickies, Ariat, yeah. I got a pair of Ariat cowboy boots, believe it or not. They feel comfortable, but they're just heavy. You know, my thing, I don't like heavy boots. Because I got big feet. I got like a size 13 or 14. I'm carrying around a whole suitcase on each foot. It's crazy. It's just too much. KG says, work clothes, what are those? Hey, man, I don't know. You know, you got to put on some Jordans and some Reeboks or whatever the cool kids wearing nowadays. I don't know nothing about fashion. This is what I wear. I got my polo shirt and Levi jeans, and I wear, what do I wear? What kind of shoes are those? I don't even know what kind of shoes these are. Clark's desert boot. That's what I wear. But I got some Ariats though, for sure. Faded Glory. Oh man, Faded Glory. You're gonna be. As soon as you go out there and put your foot on the truck bed, they're gonna fall apart, man. They're gonna like a booby trap. It's gonna explode right in your face. The cinder blocks, man, it's too heavy. It's like, sir, I can't get nothing done. You walking in quicksand trying to get some stuff done. It's too much, man. I'm walking. You hear like booming noises with these big boats, man. It's ridiculous, man. If you got like a size 11 or 12 foot at the max, you can be all right. But you got these big Shaquille O'Neal looking feet, man. Them boots is gonna be too heavy. You gotta it's literally like it's like working out with these big heavy boots on. Georgia boots at work. Ocean Pacific, Walmart coat. Well, sometimes Walmart does have some good stuff as far as the coats and whatnot, but the shoes, no. I don't really play around with the shoes because that ain't really that won't get it done. All right, but let's move right along. There's a whole lot I could talk about as far as workwear. Did I get everything I wanted to get to? I got to Biden versus Doocy. Now, this was really weird how Joe Biden called Peter Doocy a dumb SOB on a hot mic, like nobody heard him say that. It's weird because the media are not covering that at all. They just totally ignore it like it didn't happen. He didn't say, they didn't say, oh, this is unacceptable, all this, that, and the third. And they say that he apologized to Peter Doocy, but the apology was not really an apology. So here's the story. If you guys have not seen my video or you've not heard about it, I'm going to just rehash it regardless. So Peter Doocy asked Biden about inflation at a press conference or something. I guess it's at the end of it. He's shouting out questions and he's asking about inflation. So Biden says, you're really a dumb son of a X, Y, and Z. He says it kind of low to where he thought maybe nobody heard him or the mic didn't pick it up, but we clearly heard what he said. Now, that's something that they would say Trump would do. I'm not saying Trump wouldn't do something like that because we've heard him say stuff like that. But when Trump says something like that, the media sees right on it immediately. Oh, this guy, he's racist and makes fun of reporters and all this and that and the third. He cuts people out. They say that about Trump, how bad he is, how racist he is. But then when Joe Biden does something like that, it totally gets ignored. You dumb SOB. I know about the black community. I know about roaches, hair on my legs, snuggling with kids and stuff like that. They totally ignore it. Because it's their guy. That's their golden goose. So we know by just that right there how compromised the media are. They're not going to call it how they see it. Not in the least bit. But anyway, he calls him a dumb SOB. And he calls him an hour later to quote unquote apologize. Now, if you, like I said in my video, if you got siblings and y'all were kids and y'all would fight, say you got an older brother, right? He's like 3 years older than you, which is a lifetime when you were a kid. If you're 8 and he's 11, he's beating you up. If y'all got to if y'all fight like that, he's beating you up. So you on the ground crying, mommy, or whatever you're doing. And he don't want to get in trouble. He don't want to get beaten himself. So he's like, hey, man, stop. Get up, man. You okay? You all right? You good, man? You all right? All right, man, get up. You're not hurt that bad, are you? Stop crying. That's kind of what Joe Biden was trying to say to Peter Doocy. Because he said this specific thing. What did he say? Nothing personal, pal. Nothing personal, pal. Can I get, I'm sorry. I said the wrong thing. I apologize. I shouldn't have done something like that. Nothing personal, pal. That's not an apology. That's more like, hey, man, don't go on TV and tell them I didn't call you and try to make amends, try to make some kind of extend an olive branch. Because I guarantee you, his team, speaking about Joe Biden, they made him do that. They made him do it because they heard that it got out. It was a hot mic. Everybody heard it. It's going viral. So like, all right, man, you got to call him right now to just clean that up and say you're sorry. You got Ukraine going on. You got supply chain shortages going on. You got all kind of things happening, right? But still, they said you call him to fix that. But he didn't even really fix it because he's not really. He said what he said. He said what he wanted to say. He said what he said. He wanted to say it. If he was sorry, he wouldn't have said it. All right. But it's funny how the media are ignoring it. Again, we know how compromised they are. Now, watch when the next Supreme Court justice is announced or they go through the process. It won't be any of the whole Brett Kavanaugh thing, will it? Remember the whole thing about Brett Kavanaugh? Where they had this lady, Christine Blasey Ford, out of nowhere talking about, oh, he attacked me a million years ago at a party he was drinking, all that and the third. They made squeaky clean Mr. Just nicest guy in the whole world, Mr. Rogers. They made that guy turn into a drunken, crazed party animal. Some frat boy taking advantage of women, all kind of stuff. I've never seen anything quite like it. Not as far as the allegation. We always see allegations about some man doing something to some woman a million years ago. We always see that happen. It's true sometimes it's not true. In this case, it was not true, obviously. But I've never seen the outpouring of support that Brett Kavanaugh had. All these women, dozens of women on stage, on television, showing their face. There was a letter with like a bunch of women that said, Brett Kavanaugh would never, he's my best friend, I loved him, all this, that, and the third. He would never do something like that. I never seen nothing like it. If Brett Kavanaugh were not such a good guy and impervious to all this nonsense, if he was not the kind of guy that would never do a thing like that, then he might have got hemmed up by that. That might have worked. And they still try to put Christine Blasey Ford on the cover of Time magazine, all kind of dumb stuff like that. It's like, why? Why? It didn't work. We've not seen her since. Have you seen Christine Blasey Ford since then? I've not. She got her bag and dipped out. She got that book bag and left. She came on the scene, attacked Brett Kavanaugh, got a book deal, got the bag, and peaced out. She could be in Hong Kong by now. Who knows? We've not seen her since. But my whole point is that the media are not going to cover what a liberal person would do in that same situation if there's any kind of dirt that could get brought up or any kind of lie they want to make up. They won't make up lies. They won't bring up dirt. They won't do anything like that. And a black woman especially, oh no, they won't do nothing like that. They're not going to say a thing. Same thing with Joe Biden. Joe Biden does pretty much whatever he wants to do. And they just pretty much let it happen. But the people of America they've had enough. They've had enough. They're ready for a change. They don't like what Joe Biden is doing. They don't like the direction the country is going in. Okay, that's all a poll that said like 30% of Americans want to run again, or less than that. 28% of Americans wanting to run again. That's not a very good number. You have less than half of Democrats that want to run again, and a much lower number than that of Republicans that want to run again. They don't like this guy. They don't like him. He's pretty much just an empty suit. Same thing with Kamala Harris, an empty pantsuit. Okay, an empty wig or whatever she got going on. That's what she is. They don't like these people. So we'll see what happens in 2022 this year in the midterms, and also in 2024 during the general election. We'll see how it goes for sure. We shall see. All right. Hold on. I'm just trying to see what's going on here. But yeah, we'll see what's going on. All right. So I just says real work boots are 50% duct tape. Hilarious. That's good. That's pretty much everything right there as far as the topics. Bari Weiss. Bari Weiss, that was a good show that she did. Well, I don't want to say performance, like she was like not being genuine, but that was a good appearance from Bari Weiss on my man, what's his name? Bill Maher's show on Real Time with Bill Maher, HBO. Bill Maher, I'm not a fan of Bill Maher really, but sometimes he'll say some things that I agree with. And Bari Weiss, I feel like, if you don't know what she is, she's a journalist. She's become popular on the internet as of late, but she is kind of a centrist person. She'll lean left sometimes and lean right sometimes. But what she said about not wanting to deal with all this nonsense as far as what's happening with the bug anymore, the liberal crowd applauded. Matter of fact, I'm going to try to find that clip. I have it right here. I'll play just a last little bit of it, like a minute or something like that. Let's see if I can pull it up right quick. And here we go.
I'm done.
With this question?
No, I'm done with COVID. I'm done. It's like I went so hard on COVID. I
remember.
Sprayed the Pringles cans that I bought at the grocery store, stripped my clothes off because I thought COVID would be on my clothes. Like, I did it all. I watched Tiger King. I got to the end of Spotify. Like, we all did it, right?
No, we did not do it.
Now, I ain't do all that. See, I'm Bill Maher. I ain't do all that now. I ain't just, you know what I mean, fall apart. I ain't do all that.
Well, here's the thing. A lot of us did do it. And then we were told, you get the vaccine. You get the vaccine and you get back to normal. And we haven't gotten back to normal. And it's ridiculous at this point. I know that so many of my liberal and progressive friends are with me on this, and they do not want to say it out loud because they are scared to be called anti-vax or to be called science denial or to be,
She speaks for like the average normie out there, the average normie person, leftist or whatever, that has complied, basically.
Smeared as a Trumper. I'm sorry, if you believe the science, you will look at the data that we did not have 2 years ago, and you will find out that cloth masks do not do anything. You will realize that you can show your vaccine passport at a restaurant and still be asymptomatic and carrying Omicron. And you will realize, most importantly, that this is going to be remembered by the younger generation as a catastrophic moral crime. The city of Flint, Michigan, which is 80%, I think, minority students, has just announced indefinite virtual schooling. In the past 2 years, we've seen among young girls a 51% increase in self-harm. People are killing themselves. They are anxious. They are depressed. They are lonely. That is why we need to end it more than any inconvenience that it's been to the rest of us. I think.
And the crowd goes nuts. This is Bill Maher's liberal crowd. They go nuts. They feel in the same exact way.
It's like at this point, it's a pandemic of bureaucracy. It's a pandemic of bureaucracy. It's not real anymore.
Exactly. 100% correct. It's not real. It's bureaucracy. It's red tape. This is what happens when the government gets really big. Because everybody want to keep their job, right? Everybody wants their job. Everybody still wants to be important. Everybody wants to be relevant. So, hey, man, I got to keep my job as the head lead assistant director of marketing and sales for N95 respirators. And I got to be the head senior lead project manager for virus protocols. And I got to make these forehead temperature checkers, and I got a government contract doing that, and it's for 3 years, and I get $100,000 a year, and all kind of just dumb stuff like that. That's what's going on right now. Okay, you got kids wearing masks in school. Why? They don't work, number one, and kids are not even at risk. What's the purpose? It's bureaucracy. It's red tape. It's dumb. It's been dumb from the very beginning. If you're 1,000 years old and you kind of at risk, hey, man, you got to figure it out. You can't just stop the whole world because some of the world are at risk. That's always the case, really. People do dangerous jobs. People have high-risk lifestyles, whether they, living in the streets or they living in a third world country, whatever it is. We can't just stop life because some are in danger. Because there's always a risk of danger. Wherever you are is always danger. It's a high level or low level. It's always danger. When I was in Virginia, we always had the hurricane to worry about or flood or something like that. Now I'm here in Tennessee. You got tornadoes to worry about. It's always something. That's just life. You got to be able to live with it. That's just really what it is. Okay. That's all that there is to it. All right. So shout out to Bari Weiss for just keeping it all the way real on Bill Maher's show. And you're right, Jazzy. The crowd applauds when liberals say it. Yeah. Now, if I was to go on there and say something like that, and they know I'm conservative, they might not want to applaud because they feel like they got to be against me, like I'm their enemy. But I'm no enemy. Like if a liberal says something that I agree with, I'll give him credit. I'm not going to agree with him on everything. It doesn't change. Like, some people think that if I agree with a thing that somebody says who's on the quote-unquote other side, that I agree with all of what they say. No. Just that one thing, If a liberal person that I don't agree with says, you know what, today's a good day. The sun's out. It feels good. It's February almost, and it's like 75 degrees. I'm like, hey, you're right about that. No clouds, no rain, no humidity. It feels beautiful outside. That does not mean that I agree with their take on communism and higher minimum wage, 5 for 15 or whatever. I don't agree with that part, but I do agree with the part where they're talking about how good the day is. But I move right along. And thank y'all for being here with me while I get my 900,000 subscribers. Okay, I finally cracked 900,000. And I think what did it was that video of Dr. Phil and Matt Walsh. That was a big one right there. That was a great performance by Matt Walsh from Dr. Phil. Very good debate with respect. Fantastic. So yeah, shout out to him for that. That was a good video from him for sure. I just gave my 2 cents on it and it went pretty well. All right. Now, I've not seen the View incident. Y'all got to fill me in on that. You guys might be able to call me and tell me what happened with the View, but I've heard about it a little bit, but I'm not really sure. Oh, and Ukraine. You guys asked about Ukraine. Ukraine is a nothing burger, and I'll tell you why. Biden, they're talking about, Biden's talking about possibly sanctioning Putin over and invading Ukraine if he invades Ukraine. First of all, they may or may not invade Ukraine. Second of all, how are you going to sanction Putin for invading Ukraine where they already took Crimea? That's Ukraine too. They've been took parts of Ukraine. Why was it not a big deal when they took Crimea? That's Ukraine. Now, it's also Sevastopol, which is kind of like part of Russia. It's kind of weird. It's Russian in every way, but being part of Russia, except for now that it is part of Russia. But they already took Crimea, so why would Ukraine be a problem? Ukraine is not anything that we should be concerned about. We don't have any real connection to Ukraine. We don't have to get oil from them. We don't have to get food from them. They get food to Russia. So I don't see what the problem is. If they take Ukraine, okay. I mean, that's for them to figure out in Ukraine. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but that's for them to find out for themselves in Ukraine. And beyond that, a lot of Ukrainians are Russian, essentially, because Moscow, if I'm wrong about what I'm saying, let me know in the comments. But before there was a Moscow, there was Kiev, Ukraine. They went from Kiev out far east into Moscow to settle that, to spread more than what they were, to spread further into the extremes of, I guess, Europe, to go all the way to the Ural Mountains, basically, and have that be part of, and have that be Russia. Russia really is not that big. It's big as far as the landmass they claim, but as far as where you have people living that, it's not that big. It's like a European country, aside from all the Siberia and stuff like that. Basically, what I'm saying is Ukraine and Russia are kind of like sisters or brothers, or whatever you want to call it. So it's not really a big deal. In my humble opinion, it's a big deal for them, but not for us. See, now, if they were invading Afghanistan, that's a problem. That's a big problem because we have interests over in Afghanistan, okay? You have possibly natural gas reserves maybe up under the surface. You got the poppy. That's a big problem. A lot of heroin coming from Afghanistan, so that'd be a big, big problem if they invaded Afghanistan, which they done before anyway, but that's a different story. So if they go to Afghanistan, Iraq, Iran, those are big issues. They're not going to invade Iran, obviously, because they got a connection, but still, that'd be a problem. If they invaded China, that'd be, but they're not going to do that either, because they got friendly relations. But Ukraine, I mean, what they're going to do next? Invade Moldova or Belarus? I'm not saying it's unimportant for them, but for us, it's not really important. And it's weird hearing this being talked about on the media. The media has become like Los Angeles, real fake, right? They're talking about the border, our southern border is not really important. Let any old person across. But if Russia has troops on the border of Ukraine and Russia, oh, we got to stop Putin. He's violating the sovereign country. What? Where was all of that energy at with our own southern border? Let's transfer that energy to our own people. How about that? How about that? But I'll move on. Now, tell me why Ukraine is important to Americans. Like, why is that important to the United States? It's important to Ukraine, but not to America, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, Liza Jane, I'm not saying it's unimportant to them. It's important to them if they're invading. That's a problem for Ukraine, potentially. But why is it a problem for us? I'm trying to figure out why it's a problem for us. We don't have any interest in Ukraine or Russia, really, quite frankly. So why does that really matter? It's only a problem because Russia are the bad guys. That's the only issue. China has been also imperialistic. Tibet is not China. East Turkestan, also known as Xinjiang, where the Uyghurs are, that's not China. Macau, Hong Kong, that's not China. But China took it. South China Sea, that's not China that they took it. Taiwan is going to be part of China. So what are we going to do? Nothing. Same thing here. All right. So I'm trying to see why it's the issue for us. I'm not saying it's unimportant. It's important for Kiev, but why is it important for us? Uranium, rare earth, lithium, oil, cobalt, natural resources. Yeah, I don't really understand. I don't get it. So if you guys feel differently, please feel free to call in, let me know. But I got super chats on deck, and then I'm gonna get to the calls. Putin's a dictator, okay, and if he is, so why does that matter to us? Why does it matter to us? I don't understand. But I'll move right along. Super chat on deck, and then we're going to get to the calls. The number to call, 434-658-1220. We'll get to that in a minute. So let's go to the supers. What's the date of 26? All right, let's go ahead and get rocking. Okay, thank you to Nicole Thomas, who says, wishing you a great show. ABL, best wishes from Wales, Great Britain. Thank you for the super, Nicole. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you to Matthew, who said, this official. I'm blaming the white man. ABL, have you heard of any U.S. truckers joining the Freedom Convoy to Ottawa? Prime Minister Blackface's vax mandates for all has got to go to the trash. I've not heard about any U.S. truckers doing that, but I have heard about that particular convoy, and I'm loving it. Shout out to all y'all in Canada. Hopefully, y'all are able to get this thing back on track for sure. Apple says, cop Kim Porter found guilty for Dante Wright. Michael Bird not arrested for Ashley Babbitt. Don't tell me about equity and justice system. Ian Kenny says, ABL, please pull up First Movers Coalition on the World Economic Forum's website and read everyone the description of real quick. This is very important for people to know. Lots of jobs will be lost. Do I have time for this? Let me see if I got time to read this right quick. Hold on. I may not have time. Yeah, I don't got time for this right now, but I'm gonna look into this. But just bookmark that right quick. Thank you to Apple, who says Derek Chauvin found guilty for George Floyd. We finally got $27 million. David Dorn's murder not even at trial yet. Don't tell me about systemic racism. Thank you to Kaz Posthumous, who says, how would you fix the country if you were president of the United States? I would stop. I would lower taxes. I would stop all these mandates and stop all these frivolous, ridiculous court battles that mean nothing. I would actually be a leader. You know, to get down to the specifics right now might take a while, but I would actually lead from the front rather than being Geppetto through the administration like I'm a rat doll or a toy or a puppy rather than a man. But anyway, thank you to Sherlock Hemlock, who says, you are the best ABL, so insightful, eye-opening, and very, very funny. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. Thank you to Silas, who says, do you think African Americans who constantly complain about the white man consider what comes next? Would an Hispanic, Asian majority subsidize them? Nope. I said it before. It's like, I said that about Africa, actually, because in Africa, what's happening right now is that the Chinese taking over. China is everywhere. They're all over the continent taking over. And I'll give you the gold mine story again. Now, there was a gold mine in somewhere in Africa that was under European colonialism. So the Europeans operated the gold mine, and they gave local Africans jobs at the gold mine. They had a pool on site where you could swim, bring your family, friends, and have fun in the pool. So they had jobs, recreation, and whatever. But when the Europeans left and there was no more colonialism, the gold mine closed. For whatever the reason may be, I'm not really sure. But the gold mine closes. Now, when the Chinese come in, they reopen the gold mine. And what do? Is there a pool on site? Nope, no pool. So ain't gonna be the recreation, no fun time, no friends, family. Nope, none of that. How about jobs for locals? How about driving the truck or anything like that? Nope. We're bringing in our Chinese friends and brothers and whatnot from China to the gold mine to work. So what do the Africans get? Nothing. It'll be one guy that gets a big bag of money or a small bag of money for the ability to operate in that area. They'll take whatever they can from the gold mine. They don't care about the environment. They'll trash the environment. They take all the gold out, bring it to China, and give one guy some money rather than giving the locals jobs and the ability to have fun. My point is, the Europeans, when they were in Africa, they were more altruistic. The Chinese don't care at all. They couldn't care less. They could not care less. They don't have that empathy or anything like that. They're just matter of fact. Now, some say it's a good thing. They just give money. There's no strings attached. But the problem is they do things that are unethical, which they know are going to have people in a bad situation. That's called debt slavery. Okay. They'll give you a loan with no strings attached, but you got to pay it back. And if you can't pay it back, then I'm going to need this plot of land, or I need 4 plots of oil, or I need this port. They do that all over the world, not just Africa too. They did that, I think, in Pakistan. And there was a big protest against China in Pakistan because what they did was they built a port in Pakistan and it was for the Pakistanis. But they couldn't pay the money that was owed to China to pay for the port. And they were not getting any kind of traffic to the port to pay for it. You see what I'm saying? Like they were promised it'd be a lot of traffic. It's right here. It's Belt and Road Initiative. This is a perfect location. No traffic, no money. They couldn't pay it back. So now China has it. You see how that works? That's what China does. Europeans don't do that. But I digress. So I think if you have the Hispanics coming over here, that ain't gonna. You're seeing that right now in California. When they come over, they're not really worried about you and trying to be. Nah, it's like, look, we're coming into your neighborhood. We're gonna buy it up, start our own business. If you can't get something going for yourself, then oh well, we're not here to help you. That's what the Asians and Hispanics say. We're not here to help you. Get it on your own. If you can't, oh well, figure it out. But anyway, great question, by the way, Silas. Thank you to Effie Ranger Xbox, who says New York teacher threatens to throw child at anyone complaining about him wearing a mask. Mandate ended. Thank you to Spun Bearing 65 for your donation. Thank you to Apple, who says RIP Jackson Sparks, 8 years old, Waukesha victim. Also, when will BLM be held responsible? By the mainstream media, never, but by us all the time. Apple also says, God bless January 6th, MAGA Patriots in D.C. solitary jail. Also, Patriot Freedom Project to help Troy Smocks and others. Jorada84 says, what's your favorite white NBA player, not Jason Williams? Well, okay, if not him, because, we're from the same town, right? He's from DuPont City, West Virginia, which is like right next to Rand. So Jason Williams went to high school with Randy Moss, the hometown hero. They was on the same basketball team. So aside from the hometown hero, Jason Williams, White Chocolate, I would say probably like Dirk Nowitzki, because I saw him play. I didn't really see Larry Bird play. That was before my time. But Dirk Nowitzki was just amazing. Yeah, Dirk Nowitzki, like one of these European guys. Peja Stojakovic and all these guys were amazing. So Bonus, when he was young, was amazing as well. And the young guys I like, Nikola, what's his name? My man from the Nuggets. I forget his name, but he's good. And also Luka Doncic from the Mavericks. Right now, he's good. But yeah, the big man from the Nuggets is really good. Thank you to Ian Kinney, who says, Project Veritas just released new video of botched administration of C-19 jab on children. Kids receive wrong one. Wow. Apu says ABL Jericho Green announced that he quit his day job and he's going full-time YouTube. Ah, my man. Hey, Jericho, congratulations, man. Congratulations. I know it's been, a long road, man, but I'm glad you did that, man. So, hey, congrats, Jericho. Congrats. You earned it. Now my advice to him is just keep doing you, boss. Keep doing you, keep being yourself, man. That's all you got to do, because when you doing these videos, and if you ever stream live or whatever, people can see who you are. But I've already said it to him in person. I've said the same thing I said to him in person when I saw him at Tatum's event. I said the same thing. Just be you. That's all. Don't worry about nothing. Just be yourself. That's the best way to be. And I'm not sure if we're doing a stream tomorrow, but I don't know nothing about if he's going to be there or not. Ian Kinney says Project Veritas just released new video of already read that one. Thank you to Coach DC, who says we're in Stupidville, where the only thing that makes sense is nothing. Respect. Exactly, Coach. Right on point. Thank you to Jordan 84, who says I think these SJWs need to get a hobby and have life goals. That is the whole reason why they are the way they are. Correct. You see, when you have life handed to you, and there's no problems, you got to create problems. You got to create drama to keep yourself entertained. Okay, that's why you get these regular normies now identifying as farm animals, because it's something to give their life purpose and meaning. That's what's going on. Apu says, Ray Epps, confess your treason to Jesus and reveal the truth. Zoraida 84 says, Lowe's or Home Depot, which hardware store? I prefer Home Depot. I like Ace Hardware too, but Home Depot is my wave. But I'll go to both though. Like if I need a particular thing, because I'm a tool guy. I got all kind of. I got the Milwaukee pack out, whole bunch of those. I got like 3 dollies for some reason. I got all kind of stuff. I don't have a miter saw. I don't have a table saw yet. That's my next thing I'm gonna get, is a table saw. But I got everything else. But I usually go to Home Depot or Ace Hardware. I think it's to Josh, who says, what's up, ABL? So as I work as a nurse at an urgent care here in Florida, and just find it interesting how many patients I see on a daily basis that come in testing positive for the bug, yet have had the vax and are boosted. Of course, because what they don't know, maybe they do, but it don't stop nothing. It stops nothing. That's like, the old Olay, letting that bull charge on through. That's pretty much the extent of their vaccine boost. Olay, come on in. I ain't gonna stop nothing. Apu says, if you hear, attention, deep state, NSA, federales, do you fear man or God? Repent of your treason and tell the American people truth. J6 inside job by Pelosi, McConnell, Schumer. Also, why do white Karens always have most dudes haircuts? ABO truckers in Canada doing convoy 50 miles long, protesting the boy Prince Trudeau's vax mandates. My favorite big rig truck, dump cement, tanker, garbage. That's a good question. I like garbage trucks, actually. Yeah, garbage out of those. Or the cement. I like to see the cement with the the cylinder spinning. That's always cool. But yeah, I like garbage trucks. Yeah, like a friend of mine, like I was leaving to go to school one day. I was in college at the time, and I'm leaving, and my friend was like outside of my house picking up my trash. So he was on the actual truck. I gave him dap and everything. He had this big glove on. The glove was like the size of, I'm talking about like a foot, like a football thickness. It was crazy, but I guess you got to because it's trash. But I'm like 18. I don't care. I give him a dap with the dirty glove on. But yeah, I enjoy the dump trucks. Also, ABO, you cool, street smart, and you do deep detail analysis. How should we conservatives deal with liberals being red pilled on virus lies? Accept, reject? Can we just trust these libs like Kennedy or Wolf? I mean, we could just accept them for having that knowledge, but nothing else. Like I was saying earlier, you may say a thing that I agree with, but I may not necessarily agree with you on everything else. I could say, okay, be on the same page here with this, but that's it. We draw the line right there and keep it moving, and that's fine. We don't have to necessarily embrace them as full-fledged conservatives or anything like that. We could just say, we agree on this, If we can build from there, great. But if we can't, that's fine too. Ian Kinney says 720 likes, 1.4 thousand watching. Hit that like button. Yeah, hit the like button for me as always. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Also, President Trump, I dare you to call into the show. Chevy said my favorite Trinity, Anthony Brian Logan. Thank you to Nicole, who says Fauci was part of a mass study with 60 other doctors that determined the infection was 13 times higher. With the mass group and caused a plethora of other health conditions. The article was retracted in 2021. Wow. So the mask caused more harm than good. Say it ain't so. Maybe that's why all these masked and boosted people are getting all kind of viruses and bugs and whatnot. But we'll move on. Mr. Potato Head TV says, what are your thoughts on Biden's potential SCOTUS pick? He says he's going to pick a black woman. I don't know who the person is, so I don't have a particular viewpoint on her specifically. Thank you to Matthew says, on the Canada-U.S. border, there seems there's a long lineup at several entry points, hours-long wait, possible American truckers heading to Ottawa. I wouldn't doubt it. And also, Big Jim Slate says, what up, ABL? Just 1 year sober. Can I get some love? Hey, man, congratulations to you, boss. Hey, where I got this? Congratulations. Maintain that sobriety. Keep on going, man. One day at a time. Every day, man. So congratulations on that. That's a really big accomplishment for you, for sure. All right, we got calls on deck. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. If Skype wants to act right, that'd be great. If it's not, then don't blame the white man for that. It's not my fault. But let's go ahead and get rocking and rolling again. 434-658-1220. Let's go ahead and get into it. And the Skype email's in the description box below the video. Alrighty, online ticket to 210.
Hey, ABL, this is Jacob from San Antonio, Texas. How are you doing?
I'm well, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, man. Just studying for my firefighter exam. I won't talk anything in particular, take too much of your time. I just want to let you know that I'm a young man. I'm 23 years old. About 4 years ago, I was about as left as it gets. About 4 or 5 years ago. And now I listen to your show. Every Wednesday and Saturday. Every time you release a new video, listen to you and B. Tatum, and even Steven Crowder. And the more I think about it, the more I listen to you guys, the more right-leaning I get, the more conservative I get. I just want to let all your listeners and you know that all my friends and tons of young people that I speak to think the same way that I do. So I don't want people thinking that people, millennials or my generation, that everybody's being corrupted or is super left. That I just want to let everybody know that people young still got conservative values, and that's about it, man. I don't want to take too much of your time. Just thought I'd give you a little peace of mind on that.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, have a good day.
All right, shout out to the young man becoming a firefighter. Good luck on that exam, man. You're going to knock it out the park. You got it, man. I was going to be in your shoes a few years ago. I was going to be a firefighter. My dad was, and my dad was a recruiter. And this is part of the reason why I became conservative. There's a lot of different reasons why I became conservative, but one of the reasons was this whole thing about, black man can't get a job, all this, that, and the third. My dad was actively trying to find black people to become firefighters. Men, women, didn't matter. Actively trying to find them. And what he always said was people didn't want to do it. Or they came to him too late, like after they got locked up for a drug case or something like that, where he couldn't hire him because that was against the regulations. You couldn't have a drug felony on your record. That was just what it was. It wasn't his decision to do that. It was just what it was in Norfolk. But he was telling me, man, look, if you go out there and go to the academy, like if you apply, you're going to get the job straight away. You got it. It's yours. You want it. That's the way it was. It's not quite that way for everybody else in America now, is it? But my man right here, you got that job. Don't even worry about it. You got that exam in the bag. 861, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to? Hello, 861.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, Anthony, how you doing? It's Paul, China man. How you doing?
I'm well, man. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm glad I got through. We haven't chatted with you in a long time. Just as a quick introduction, I ordered 2 of your shirts. Think while it's still legal,
Yeah.
and I've been rocking them and representing here in Guangzhou. So thank you for kicking up the larger size. Those are 5X, so those fit very well. So thank you for the bigger size, man. I've been representing the team here in Guangzhou with those think by still legal shirts.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that a lot, man. It means a whole lot. And I saw your order coming through, matter of fact, because you had the Chinese characters in it. I saw the order coming through, so I made sure that it got to you, made sure everything was good. So I'm glad you got it. I'm glad you enjoy them.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, 2 quick things, then I'll let you move on to some other callers. One, with the midterm elections coming up later this year, there's been a lot of talk about this sort of liberal flight from liberal states, largely, I guess, at the center of it will be California.
Yes.
And how their population is decreased, and people are flocking to Oregon and Texas and other states. And I've heard some chat from some conservative journalists and others about how, like say Texas, for example, some of the counties in Texas are not as red as they used to be. They're looking like they're not straight blue, but it's going from red to sort of a kind of a purple, and other areas too that has historically been staunchly red because of all these people leaving California and these liberal areas and going to conservative areas. They're leaving the liberal system, but they're not leaving behind their politics. They're bringing their liberal politics with them. And, it's kind of frightening to me to see parts of Texas and other areas that have been overwhelmingly, staunchly, concrete, solid red, now becoming, purple. And so do you think that this could be a problem in the midterm elections, or would it play much of a factor at all with us taking back, the House and the Senate, with these people leaving Cali and other areas, but not leaving their politics with them, or bringing their politics with them?
That's a good question. I think that it may make some races a little bit closer, the same way it was with Beto versus Ted Cruz. It'll be a little bit closer, but it's not enough to overtake it all the way. Not in a place like Texas. Now, Georgia is a different story. That might be a little bit more difficult. I think that might be kind of turning blue because of how big Atlanta is getting, and that might be an issue. But Texas, I don't think so. Other parts of the country, I don't think so. Florida, obviously not. It's not enough for them to move into these places to totally turn it. But Georgia, because of how big Atlanta is, and that's like the main city, that might change. But other places, maybe not so much.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I don't think it'd be a big problem, but from listening to some people talk, it does kind of raise a few alarms. Secondly, little sensitive matter about the inner cities and the problems in the inner cities with surging crime rates and things like that. What do you think can be done to help kind of alleviate the ignorance and adolescence in inner city communities, which are predominantly Black? I don't say the Black community anymore because it's different. You got there's the Black ghetto, of course. Then you have Black affluent communities, like in Atlanta and DC and other areas where they're Black communities, but everybody's middle class, upper middle class. So it's the Black ghetto is not the Black community anymore. It's more complicated than that.
Yeah.
But particularly in the inner city areas, there's a lot of ignorance and adolescence among adults. A lot of it is economic, and a lot of it is just childishness. The kind of things that compel people to, patronize liquor stores and patronize these businesses that are unhealthy for the neighborhood? How can we alleviate, or is there anything that can be done to help alleviate some of this? I guess let's just keep it real. Just ignorance and adolescence in the Black ghetto.
Well, I mean, the main thing that's keeping it all afloat is the welfare state. That's the main thing. I mean, because a lot of this adolescence, this perpetual adolescence, not wanting to grow up, not wanting to be responsible. I mean, people can do that because they can have their needs met. I mean, they have the food, they got their housing, they get pretty much whatever they need. You know, these little kind of rinky-dink little jobs they can get. They can do that. They can do hair and braid, and they got the illegal economy going on, the drugs and stuff like that. So number one would be eliminating the welfare state, because if you don't have because there's an incentive to just kind of behave recklessly because it's a safety net. It's like if you had to do a tightrope from a high building to another high building with no net up under you, you're gonna be a lot more careful on how you walk in your next step than if you had a big net and you had a harness on and whatnot. Because you could be more liberal with your steps if you got that backup. So no more welfare state. And at a certain point, you have to try to fight crime for real. A lot of these places, a lot of these urban inner city areas, they're getting real soft on crime, letting guys with violent charges get out with no bail, and they keep doing the same thing over and over. It creates a more dangerous environment. It's just chaotic. And if you grow up in a chaotic environment like that, where there's no real parents there, nobody cares about you, it's just going to be, it's all bad. It's easy to fall into chaos when you grow up when you're surrounded by chaos. So get hard on the criminals and don't incentivize it by paying them to be this way with the government, with the welfare state.
Yeah. Good points. Personally, I think those things would help, but also, I think that ignorance against like group economics and entrepreneurship. I don't know how much like a police crackdown on crime and eliminating the welfare state would encourage a lot of people in the Black ghetto to kind of snap out of that lethargy of business building and supporting better enterprises in the community other than these liquor stores and party stores and so forth. But yeah, okay, I'll let you go on that, man. Good I got through. Good to talk to you again. Talk to you next time.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate it.
All right.
But yeah, I think the main thing is if you don't have the welfare state, if you notice you can't survive without actually, I don't know, if you know you can't survive without actually, like if you got kids, you can't survive without having the other person there, the parent there. Maybe you'd be less likely to just have kids randomly, willy-nilly, just letting them go out here. These kids be roaming the streets, unsupervised, not really caring. And then by the time they get to be 10 years old, they're already out here committing crimes. That's what's going on. I've seen it with my own two eyes. I've witnessed it. I grew up in it. I was trying to be the good kid, the nerd, reading comic books and playing my video games. I was trying to be that kid because I knew that if I didn't go that way, I could end up dead at an early age. Like some of my classmates and whatnot were at that age. You see what I'm saying? But let me get to the next call. All right, you're on line 52-907.
Hello?
Yes, turn the stream off in the background for me, please.
Okay, I just did. It was my first time calling, and but I watch you quite often. And I have worked in the liberal field my whole life as a child protective social worker, and so I, never once did I let any of that liberal education or anything influence me. But that's my background. But what I wanted to say is Joe Rogan, and the Neil Young thing. His song, one of his songs is "Rockin' in the Free World." I think Joe Rogan should use that phrase and at the end of all of his shows now, keep rocking in the free world. That's what I'm doing, and because I think that's, if that's how he is and he doesn't believe in freedom, let's take his phrase. And I'm going to start using that, instead of saying, goodbye, have fun. I'm going to say, keep rocking in the free world, to make it, just to make my point. And one other thing was, I don't, it was very hard to do, very, very hard to find, but the video on the Senate hearing with the COVID doctors was like 5 hours long. The best information you will ever hear on COVID. And now I found it because, I have investigator skills, because it takes a long time to find these things. But I now post that video once a day, every day on my Facebook page, so that I can try to engage. But that's all. Keep up the good work. I enjoy your show. I live in Alaska, and so I don't always get it live. But lots of times too, right before when I go to bed, I turn on your podcast and listen to it. So, thank you for the chance to talk.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Oh, so that was Neil Young. Keep Rocking. I had no idea that was his song. Keep Rocking in the Free World. That's so ironic. Like, I think what's the other band that's like that? Rage Against the Machine. Okay, Rage Against the Machine, but you got to get a vax to go to the concert. Oh, okay. I mean, it's so silly. Like Hollywood. We're seeing how fake a lot of this stuff is. It's like being inside the Matrix and being able to see that the Matrix is not real. That's kind of where a lot of Americans are right now. That's why they feel the way that Bari Weiss felt. That's why they understand where she's coming from, right? That's the whole thing. 510, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, this is Walter from California.
All right, man. What's going on?
Hey, Anthony. I was just watching your videos recently, and I was trying to kind of get in the mind of you, and I had a few questions about the whole Matt Walsh on Dr. Phil.
Yeah.
So basically, that was the first video I saw that you produced, and so sorry, my mom's in the other room. But basically, I had a few questions, and my first question was, would you be opposed to calling someone a pronoun that you didn't think they would be born with?
It depends on the situation. Like, really, I don't want to play that game with the pronouns and all of that. I really don't want to do that, because it becomes, I'm not trying to have a Rolodex of pronouns for people just randomly, especially if I just meet you. I mean, how do I do that? Like, okay, I am at an event, right? Like, sometimes I go to some of these events, like these meet and greets, or let's just say I'm in the airport and I'm trying to get the attention of a flight attendant or something like that. Excuse me, sir. I'm not sir. My pronoun is attack helicopter. Call me that. Like, are you trolling me? Are we playing? How about let's just not even really do that? And why should I be, I'm not saying you would, but why should I be attacked for just looking at somebody that looks like Bret the Hitman Hart and say, sir? Why would that be a bad thing for me to assume that out of respect? Why is that bad if you think it is bad?
Well, I don't disagree that you should have the legal right or right as an individual to believe that other people can't change their gender. But as for the attack helicopter example, I think that is somewhat of a slippery slope, because I don't think anyone is going to identify as an attack helicopter.
Sir, but, come on. Like, we've seen what's going on here. We see, like, I'm not sure if you follow the account Libs of TikTok. I've seen people go on TikTok and they're dead serious and say, my pronouns are it and them. Seriously, I'm a it. Now, when I was a kid, if you call somebody it, that was not respectful at all. So if somebody says my pronoun is it and them, why is it a far cry to say attack helicopter? What's the difference? They're both ridiculous.
Yeah, and so that is definitely a thing that I've noticed. Like, people have these pretty out there pronouns, and I don't think you're wrong to question, the existence of these. But the thing I wanted to ask about is, the social contract says that we have to make sacrifices in order to have a conversation. So I was wondering, my name's Walter, but if I asked you to, would you call me Walt?
I probably would.
Yeah, and so, my whole question here is, where would you draw the line? Would you? I mean, if I asked you to call me like Tina, for example, would you have a problem with that?
Say what now, Tina?
Yeah, if I wanted you to call me Tina, would you respect my wishes and call me that?
I mean, I might honestly understand what you're saying, but see, you're talking about things that, sometimes you may have a feminine name. Like I know men named Lauren that their parents named them Lauren. It's not really a big deal to have a feminine name, but when it comes to these pronouns, like my whole issue with the pronouns is it's become a game to where it's like I'm going to catch you slipping by calling me what you think I am. See, your name or what you call yourself as far as a name, that's different than your pronoun. Pronoun, I'm just referring to you by what I see, not by what your name. I don't know your name. I'm just saying, excuse me, sir, excuse me, ma'am. I say that every day. So I should be able to do that. I don't know your name. I'm going to just say sir or ma'am because you're a man. I'm going to call you sir. If you're a woman, I'm going to call you ma'am. That's just what it is. The problem is when I can't do that anymore, where that's been replaced with whatever they want to come up with. It's Zir attack helicopter. That's where we are. I think your name and your pronouns are two different arguments.
Okay, yeah. So that's I think so sorry. I'm just reading chat and they're kind of making fun of me. But
it's all good, man. Just me and you. It's all good.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I appreciate you first of all, I just want to say I appreciate you having a conversation with me even though we may not agree on this. I think it's everyone's making fun of me, so it's so funny. I'm not trolling or anything. I do believe in the right to change your gender from a social perspective. I think that you should always have the legal right to say what you want, whether it hurts someone, it goes for anything. I am gay, so I do think people should still be allowed to, say the F word. I'm not going to say that because I know you don't want to, but basically, I would always fight for the rights to, hurt and offend someone, but I would hope that people would, kind of just look at that from a perspective where it's possible that maybe you should not look at what your peers say first about the situation and look at what the situation is from an unbiased perspective.
Okay, yeah, that's good sounding advice. I think everybody has the right to look at things how they want to look at it, for sure.
Yeah, and so basically, I'm not gonna purposefully make someone uncomfortable if they, make something. And another question I had was, if you couldn't tell that someone was, a male and they looked like a female, right? I mean, to you, like, let's say they were born male and they had a penis. Or I hope that's fine to say, but and then they looked perfectly like a female, right? And they had long hair and like a busty torso, and then you couldn't tell that they were biologically male. Would you? I mean, how would you feel about that?
Like, what do you mean? How do I feel? Like, be specific.
Like, if they asked, if you did not know they were a man at birth, then so it would be, I'm sure there's trans people that just don't look anything like the gender they were assigned at birth. And so would you still call them the gender they were assigned at birth, the pronoun that they got when they were born? Or
see, now that's a good question. I'm gonna answer that question right quick. And I got a few more calls online to this. But the whole thing is, if you look like a woman, I'm gonna call you ma'am. But see, the problem is there might be a person that looks like a woman that does not want to be called a woman. Again, Dr. Phil, the guy with the beard looking like, kind of like woke Jesus. Somebody may say that he's trying to appear as a woman, but he said he does not identify as a woman. So if I'm trying to play along and I don't know him and I say, excuse me, ma'am, he's like, it's sir. It's like, see, now we playing games. How about I just go with whatever I think? If I think you're a man, I don't care if you're looking like, you got your dress on or whatever, but you look like you about 6'8", you playing basketball. You look like Magic Johnson in the wig. I'm going to say, sir, okay, because you look like a man. Whatever you got on, here's another example. Now, my uncle is gay, right? I have a gay uncle. He's a cross-dresser. He's not transgender. He's still a man. He's a cross-dresser. So if I saw my uncle in drag, which I have seen before in drag, and you call him ma'am, he might fight you. Because he's obviously still a male, just in women's clothing. You see? That's why I don't even play the pronoun game. If I think you're a man, I'm going to call you sir. Woman, ma'am. Have to be simple like that. That's it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess that makes sense. You know, you don't want to be uncomfortable with what you have to say. And
I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm just saying this is what I see, just out of respect. Just like if I'm in the store and it's a woman, it's a regular woman, I'm gonna say, "Excuse me, ma'am, can you help me with this?" Same thing with sir. I'm gonna say yes, sir, no, sir. That's how I was raised up. And to try and play games and try to maneuver and figure out what you got going on. If you are non-binary or if you're LGBT, if you're straight, if you're gay, if you're feminine, if you're masculine, no, you appear to be a man, sir, woman, ma'am. But that'd be right for me. Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that, but there's also some other things I thought about.
I got you, but I got no more to go. Yeah, I got to get my next call. Thank
Sorry
you for the call.
Keeping you. Yeah, thank you for talking to me.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate it. All right, but yeah, that's my whole thing, man. Look, like I got my gay uncle, like, is one of these guys that would be on the street dressed in drag. Clearly a man, though. Clearly a man. Not trying to actually be a woman. He's just feminine when he got his clothes on. But he also been to the penitentiary before too. So have you ever seen Holiday Heart, you guys, on one of these kind of like E movies? Well, I don't know what they call them. D movies on BET, or it may have been in the theater. I'm not really sure, but it starred Ving Rhames. Now, a quick plot of the movie before I get to the next call. Holiday Heart, this guy was he was in jail or in prison as a kid, and he was gay. So of course that was kind of hard for him to be a young man and be gay in a penitentiary at that time, where it was less relationships and more you're gonna do X, Y, and Z, if you understand my drift. So yes, he's gay, yes, he's feminine, but he's also built like Lou Ferrigno and can beat you down like it's no tomorrow. That is my uncle, but not as big, just kind of like slim. Got that old man strength, but gay. So you must want a dude like that. It's clearly a man. Don't call him girl, and that's why I don't play around like that. Let's just, if you look like a man, I'm gonna just say sir and move around like that. But I'll move on. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. And I'm gonna find a video. I'm gonna find a picture of Ving Rhames and Holiday Heart looking like Ronnie Coleman with a wig on. But anyway, let's get to the next one. 734 on line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is James from Kentucky. How are you?
I'm well. About yourself?
I'm doing well. Thanks, ABL. Just want to say congratulations with over 900,000 subscribers. You definitely deserve it. And we all appreciate you for everything that you do. My question is, it's kind of like really the opposite of the other color that you had previously on. Me with working in, more so the liberal corporate world, how do I, as a conservative, navigate politically away from all the pronouns that are all around us, and see it pretty prevalent inside my space where, you have coworkers of mine asking to be called different pronouns where, they, them, these, or what have you, like you said, a helicopter. If you were in my position and in many other positions in corporate America, how would you as a conservative be, how would you have to one conversation and be political about it as well?
Okay, so how do you just refer to somebody without using the pronouns, or are you trying to say you want to have a political conversation?
Yeah, I would say, one, how would you, try to be political about it, but not utilize, the pronouns that they're trying to basically force upon you. And then also, two, if you can't, go around that, how can you just be upfront about the person and say, listen, that's not something that I really believe in, without at the risk of losing your job?
Well, I'm not really trying to address that at the job. I will just call them by their name. I mean, that's not, avoid the pronouns. If they got a name, call them by their name.
Right. And then as far as like, my second question is, as far as Trump running in the next election, who do you think would be the best candidate for his vice president for the ticket? And do you think that DeSantis would be more of an opponent rather than an ally?
That's a good question. I think DeSantis, to answer that question first, I think DeSantis would not be good as a vice president. He would be good as the president. So if Trump's going to run, DeSantis should not run. Not at all, because they shouldn't fight against each other. Either one or the other. Nobody should run against. If Trump runs, nobody should primary him at all. If DeSantis runs, same thing. Nobody primary him. Let either one run, but not both at the same time, on the same ticket or anything like that. Now, as far as a good vice president, it doesn't really matter, quite frankly. Just put anybody in there that's conservative, that we kind of know is conservative, that's going to play kind of a background role that won't try to overshadow what Trump does. Okay, we don't want the guy coming on TV saying things that Trump's not saying, and they got to go back and fix it. Just, play the same role that Mike Pence played while Mike Pence played it. Just be kind of the quiet guy, strong, cool, collected, kind of be the straight edge guy to Trump's more flamboyant. Be that kind of contrast. That'd be a good VP pick. But the name is not necessarily that important, in my humble opinion. As long as they have a good voting record, that's really what matters.
Okay, perfect. So I think what I'm hearing you say is the vice president that should be running for Trump is ABL. I appreciate your time. Also, I appreciate the content that you're running, and you have a great night.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate it.
All right.
All right. Great call. Hey, man, whoever is the next, it's going to be interesting to see who runs and who's the vice president. It's going to be a lot going on. So y'all just buckle up, get ready, because there's going to be a lot happening coming up here in 2022. Let's get to the next one. Let's go. Hold on. The phone lines are blowing up. All right. Let's try 605 here online. Who am I speaking to?
Hello, ABL.
Hello.
Hi, this is Whitney from South Dakota. How are you?
I'm well. About yourself?
I'm pretty good. Pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to change the subject really quick. Okay, sorry. But you're familiar with Robert F. Kennedy Jr., right?
Yes.
Okay. He did a fantastic sit-down interview with some YouTube dude. I don't know who it was, but I'll put a link in the comments. But everybody should watch that video. It's like 2 hours, hour and a half or something like that. And he had some very insightful information about Dr. Fauci and just, just the type of man that he is, and just what he has done in the past. And he's known him for a long time. You wrote a book about him, and I think you actually talked about it. But anyway, I feel like everybody should watch that. He's very insightful and knows a lot of things. So
sounds good to me.
Let y'all know that.
Definitely.
Yes. But I believe it was on that same podcast that, did you know that this was back when they were doing the vaccine trials or something, that Fauci he fudged the clinical trial. He told people who was in the control group for the vaccine trial.
Yeah, I heard about that because they were trying to hide it. Yeah. So, you know what?
Yeah,
I'm not surprised that he did that. Allegedly for the YouTuber.
Right,
censor.
allegedly. Right.
I'm not surprised that he did that because he came out on TV and said that the reason why he said initially that masks don't work is because he didn't want there to be a big run on the masks because the people that worked in the hospitals needed them. So it's okay, you lied from the beginning for a particular reason, and you justify your lie because you said it was a good thing to lie because of that. So if we know that you'll do something like that. You'll lie for what in your mind is a good reason. You'll do it again. So I'm not surprised at all.
Right? I'm not either. I mean, I'm not surprised that he did that. It just still amazes me how, you know, how people just completely just bypass it as like false information, you know, just like on the left and like in the left mainstream media, like they just completely avoid it, you know, and they suppress it. Drives me batty, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's just all about money. Some money and control of some sort.
That's right. Absolutely.
It's run by evil people, you know, because the same people that are, you know, part of all these drug companies were there, you know, back when the opioids started, and it's just a big, huge web of just evil, disgusting, vile people.
Oh yeah.
You know? Yeah, I just hope that everything comes out, you know? I hope things I feel like things are going to change, so I have a good feeling about the future. So that's good.
Yeah, I believe so, because people are tired of this whole thing. People are tired of it, and the government are trying to signal that they're going to be done with it as well. So I think that's going to come to an end here pretty soon.
Yeah, especially with like the UK, you know, like they lifting all their mandates and stuff like that. Like, I feel like, you know, that's a good change.
Definitely.
You know, but then you look at Australia and they're still like tyrannical. So it's just like crazy, you know?
Right.
All right. Well, I'm sure you got a lot of calls, but thank you for taking my call.
Thanks
I'll
for the
put
call.
that link in the comments.
Well, you can't leave links in the comments, so you can email me that. So you can send me that.
Okay.
Thank you for the call, though. I definitely appreciate you.
All right, cool. Thank you.
All righty. Shout out to the caller. Let's get to a few more here. The number to call, 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Let's go ahead and get rocking and rolling to the next one. Let's go. All right. I'm trying to get some of you guys that have not been on before, so that's why I'm over here looking at my monitor. All right, let's go. 519, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Yo, what up, ABL? My name's Matt. I'm from Canada, and I just wanted to call to say how happy I am and proud I am of the truckers in Canada, the Freedom Convoy, and wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Hey, I'm loving it because you guys need that in Canada. You know, it's not too much conservative energy up there, and I'm glad these guys are doing that because it needs to happen. Canada is starting to become like Australia, maybe even worse with all this stuff. And I think everybody really is tired of it. They're done, and they want to move forward with their life. They're not feeling all this mandate and stuff at all.
Very, very, very much so. I fully agree. It's kind of crazy. I noticed that here, like our news covered it as the truckers were driving to protest road conditions. And
road conditions.
It's super crazy to the point where we got a news network in Toronto called CP24, and they were literally outside of the news network protesting, yelling, "Tell the truth, over and over again." Because there's something really freaky going on here with the media and how desperately they're trying to cover it up. But I just wanted to call and just say how, as a Canadian, and I'm sure a lot of other ones feel the same way, how proud and united we all feel right now, because who'd have thought these guys would be sticking up for us? And of all these people, it's so crazy and awesome to see.
Right on. Absolutely.
Anyways, man, that's all I'm going to say. Keep doing what you're doing, and much love, ABL.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, shout out to all the Ottawa truckers. You guys are doing a great job out there. You know, fighting for what you believe in. And it's a crazy caravan. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find that right quick. I'll put it on the screen for you guys if you have not seen it. Yeah, they out there like kind of like in BFE, right, middle of nowhere, making it happen. Now, there was one video I saw that was a really good clip of it. I think this might be it right here. Somebody had a drone or something of that sort. Give me 1 second to load it up. And we'll go ahead and do it that way. Okay, here we go. This is from Rebel News, if I'm not mistaken. Shout out to them. And let's put that right there. So yeah. So this is Winnipeg, currency in Winnipeg. Traffic comes to a halt after the nationwide convoy of truckers, protests, and government's vax mandates arrive. Hashtag Freedom Convoy 2022. Check out convoyreports.com for our coverage. At Rebel News Online, at Salence XCXL LIV. So if you can't see, like, there's a whole big line, and look how far that goes. This is drone footage, obviously, all the way back. They can't even really. They gotta fly down there to see the extent of it. So yeah, shout out to all the truckers, you guys out there in the cold. I know it's cold. Hopefully them truck beds are pretty warm. Okay, they got a little break right there in the traffic, so you can let the traffic go through. Man, I couldn't live on those in a snowy place like that. The roads are pretty well maintained right here, but some of these little neighborhood roads, that's just straight a sheet of ice. You can forget about it. But yeah, shout out to all the truckers out there, letting their voices be heard in Canada, because all this stuff got to come to an end. The vax and all that. Now, what's going to happen is it's going to come to an end, and we're going to have to reflect on what we have done over the past 2 years. You got to reflect on it. And whatever we do, we can't forget about this. We can't let it happen again. Not at all. Let's go to the next call here. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Let me get to the next one here. And let's go to, all right, hold on 1 second. 812, you know, line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello?
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 Yes, turn the screen down for me in the background,
Yeah.
please.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just did that. Sorry, the dryer's in there, and somebody forgot to empty the pocket. It's making a lot of racket. So, I wanted to extend greetings.
All righty.
And they're pushing the vaccine at health facilities like you wouldn't believe. I mean, you go in there just to visit someone, of course. They started putting the new COVID rules in a lot of states. I don't know if people out there are experiencing this when they're trying to visit their loved ones in any medical facility, but it's going on everywhere. And it's like, if you're a visitor, they ask your vaccination status. Would you like the vaccination? If this thing's such a great thing, why do you got to push it? Well, they told me why. They're accountable for each can, and when they open it up, it has to be used.
Mm.
And they push as much of it out because it only lasts so long. It has a shelf life of maybe a day. So once it's open, they got to use it all up. So they're pushing it as much more as they could. You know, just anybody wants it, get it. And if you don't want it, we'll bug you until you take it.
Right.
Has anybody experienced that? Need to go ahead and share that with the audience, because it's going on in a lot of places. I've talked to several people who've, some have heart conditions, can't get the vaccine, and they told the same people time and again, no, these people are worse than crack dealers.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, and really it's for the same purpose as well. All about trying to get some money, the almighty dollar.
Well, that's right. It's increasing their stock points in these pharmaceutical companies as much as they possibly can. And Nancy Pelosi doesn't see a problem with that. No one else does. It's okay if they get rich on a disease they haven't cured yet, obviously, because the people that keep getting the disease are the same people who went through the entire booster line.
Right. All right. Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate it.
Okay, thank you very much. But like I said, keep your eyes open and your ears open, and I appreciate you taking my call. I enjoy listening to you, and you have a great one, ABL.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
All right, shout out to the caller. And let's go to some more. All right, calling on line speaker to 317.
ABL,
Yes,
how's it going, sir?
it's all good. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right, besides the fact that Miss Pelosi's decided to run again. That's driving me crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, but I think her district might be a little bit too far gone at this point.
Yeah, I think she's just trying to stay in office so she can cover up some of her misdeeds in the background that she's been doing over the last couple of years.
Yeah?
So, have you heard about that movie that Cyrus is going to be making about January 6th insurrection?
About who now? Who's making it?
Billy Cyrus and somebody else. They're making a movie about the January 6th insurrection.
Billy Cyrus, like Billy Ray Cyrus, Achy Breaky Heart, that guy?
Billy Ray Cyrus.
Wow.
Yep. They're making a movie about January 6th insurrection. I made a comment. I figured, you could probably fill more seats if you made a movie on what the Taliban could do with $90 billion in artillery. So I figured, that'd be a movie that they should make.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. But, I think the media have drummed the whole January 6th thing up so much. He must have capitalized off of what the media has done. They've already pretty much done the promo work for him. So people would just go just because they've seen it over and over and over again for the past year.
Right. I know. I just, the wokeness drives me crazy. But, yep, I think it's coming to an end too, man. So, love the channel. Always show you support, and I'm going to keep doing it. Thanks for taking the call, man.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate it.
Have a good one.
Wow. Billy Ray Cyrus, not my achy breaky heart, not Miley's dad. Really? Is that what we doing, Billy Ray? No, say it ain't so. Hold on. Wait. Just hold the phone. Hold the phone 1 second. Let's look this up right quick. Billy Ray Cyrus, January 6th movie. Okay. Wait a minute. It says, okay. Nah, this ain't. It says American director and screenwriter Billy Ray will reportedly team up with Don't Look Up director Adam McKay. So who is, I'm not sure this is Billy Ray Cyrus though. Anyway, but there's been a ton of these little movies and whatnot. And specials and everything else. That's not Billy Ray Cyrus. That's a guy named Billy Ray. I don't know who that is. Okay, that guy right there looking like a used car salesman. So it's weird. Hollywood's weird. That's all I got to say. But I'll move on. Number to call 434. You know the rest. Let's get to the next one. 530. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is Rob from Sacramento.
All righty, man. What's going on?
Hey, I was just going to call and say, hey, nobody out here in California, I don't know one Democrat in my entire life. So I'm wondering if there's some real corruption going on and how people like Pelosi keep getting reelected. It's a few rich people in the big cities. I think there's some serious fraud going on.
Well, Pelosi, isn't her district in San Francisco, like in that area?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that explains it right there. I mean, she's in this, kind of cracked out city area. That would explain her being able to get constantly reelected.
Right. So it must just be a bunch of white people on the outskirts keep voting her in. They have all the money for a party. Nobody wants that trash in San Francisco. The stores are getting robbed. Police can't do their work. It's unreal, dude. I just don't even know what to say.
I think people don't really understand. Like, you understand, I understand, but a lot of people don't understand what they're truly voting for when they vote for it. They might vote for Nancy Pelosi and not understand that voting for her and others like her are going to give them policies that aren't good for them. They don't really understand this. They don't get that part.
Right, especially when it's a mail-in ballot and it's an illegal alien. Sorry, I don't know if that's going to kick you off and all that, but I don't even know, brother. But keep up the good work, man. Thank you.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate it.
All right.
All right. Shout out to the caller. No, you can say illegal alien. That's fine. I don't think we've gotten to the point where you can't say illegal alien anymore. If so, that'd be crazy. You can't even say illegal alien. I mean, that's what they are. You're over here illegally. You're not a lawful resident. You're an illegal alien. That's just all that it is to it. Let's get to the next one. 410, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Oh, hey, Anthony. Hi. My name is Raj. I'm from Howard County, Maryland.
All right.
I actually called you a few weeks ago, and I want to apologize to you because I kind of sounded like a not a very intelligent person. I guess I was focusing on not very important things, but I just wanted to ask you, I guess, about the Neil Young thing. I mean, who is Neil Young? Have you ever listened to Neil Young?
I can't say that I've been inside my truck and turned on some Neil Young and rocked out when I went to anywhere in the world. So I have no idea. I've heard his name, but if you were to put a gun in my head and be like, hey, I need you to sing one Neil Young song front to back, I'm going to meet the king. So I don't know.
That's what I was thinking too. I mean, I think that do you also think that other artists that will follow Neil Young and do the same thing?
I mean, they might, but it won't hurt anyone but them. It's not like there's going to be a big protest to say, hey, put Neil Young back on Spotify. I mean, who cares, really? It's not like Spotify is the only music service in the world. And I doubt that people pay for Spotify to listen to Neil Young. They pay for Spotify to listen to Joe Rogan and other podcasts on there. The music is an added bonus.
Yeah, that sounds I would agree with you. Wow, I've been calling for so long. Can I ask you one thing? I actually have two things to ask you. I mean, because I only asked last time I called. Really, it was only because I'm an American and I'm born in America, and I don't want to be like, oh, I'm asking about why is Baltimore so bad or something like that. I don't want to offend anybody. It's just like how I would not ask you about, why are things happening, in Africa, like why people wouldn't ask me why things happen in India, I guess. I mean, like, I knew this was going to happen. I knew it was going to.
No, just go and say what you got to say, man. Just, it's all good here. No judgment.
I don't. Man. Maybe I shouldn't ask that question.
You already pretty much inside the door. You're inside the doorway. Just open the door.
I did it inside it. Yeah. I mean, I guess like what. I mean, I'm from Howard County, and next to me is Baltimore, and then DC. I guess the only reason why I care about this problem, I was watching Matt Walsh, and the only comparison I can make to it is like, how trans, like that one professor was asking Matt Walsh, like, why do you care about, what happens about, these children or anything like that? This is a question I get asked about a lot with, I guess,
So basically, so hold on, I'm gonna give you a little bit of assistance. So basically, you're in Howard County, you're in the good area of Maryland, and you're worried about Baltimore, East West Baltimore, all the ghettos and whatnot. And people are telling you, hey, why do you care about what happens in Baltimore? You stay in Howard County. Is that kind of what you're trying to get at?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
I understand, but it's like, that's your neighbors. It's right there. You're concerned about what's happening because they're right there. I mean, that's a natural human thing to be concerned about your neighbors. That's just what it is. It's like, okay, if my house right here is perfectly fine, ain't nothing wrong with it, but my neighbor's house is on fire, I'm not going to be like, oh, man, I ain't worried about that. That ain't my house. So forget them. I'm going to just let it burn. Nah, if I could help, I would like to, But if the flames are too intense, I can't do nothing for them. I might try to call the firefighters and have them come do something. But if I can't save them, I can't save them. So on one hand, you don't want to be, some kind of superhero and get yourself murdered. But on the other end, you don't want to be totally just like dismissive. So I understand where you're coming from. Now, do you want to ask me what to do to fix it? Or are you just asking me, is there a reason to be concerned about it?
Man, I thank you so much for answering everything that I couldn't ask you. Oh my God. Wow. I think.
Which one or both?
Man, I suck. I'm sorry.
So basically, I'm gonna just answer both just to help you here. So to fix it, I said it earlier. I said it before. It's not gonna be overnight. Some people are just gonna be where they are, and you're gonna have some people that are in poverty. That's just the way it is all throughout the world. You can't really avoid poverty. You can't really avoid some of the crime and whatnot. But what you can do is just not enable it. A lot of the crime and violence is enabled by the state, or the welfare state incentivizes this. You got these households with no parents, really, no mom or dad, being raised by a grandma because the government's paying for it. People not trying to really go out there and work. It's just a culture of laziness that's supported by the federal government and really the state government with all these programs that are going on. So if you could just eliminate some of that assistance, then people will be incentivized to not just create kids, have to just run the streets randomly because they won't get paid to do it. They're not being subsidized for it. And I think that'll probably be the way to go about it. But there's nothing wrong. Don't feel guilty about having concerns about your next door neighbor. Don't feel concerned about. Don't feel guilty about being concerned about it. It's okay to feel concerned. If you can help, which you really can't do that much, but if you could help and it might make sense, then go for it. But if you can't, it is what it is, man. Just all you could do right now is focus on just yourself and your life. But hopefully that helped you, man.
I think you're absolutely right on everything. I think everything you said, I watch the videos all the time, and I think, I pretty much follow everything, not follow, but I mean, like, I agree with everything that you say for the most part. I really do. I think I kind of find myself here. I just wanted to ask, because since I live in Howard County, and a lot of the people here we're always liberals. I mean, it always has been a very leftist leaning sort of area.
I got you, but you got to kind of condense your questions. I got limited amount of time. So if you can answer real quick, I can get to your question and then answer it and move on.
Are white liberals to blame for all the hummuck, and is there any good place to move to? I think that's the last two things I'll ask.
Okay, so white liberals, I won't say they're all to blame for it, but I won't say that they are not complicit in it. It's just you have them thinking they're doing the good thing, but they're doing the bad thing. Okay, raise the minimum wage. That'll get people in poverty out of poverty, but it does not help them. It makes things worse. Then you have these businesses that can't really afford that kind of money. They go out of business. So there's fewer jobs rather than more jobs that pay a higher wage. They're not actually solving the problem. They're making the problem worse. And in their mind, think they might be doing something good. Some of them, not all of them. Some of them know what they're doing, but they don't want to tell you. But as far as a good place to move, what you mean in Maryland or just anywhere in the U.S.?
I mean, someplace where, because the thing is, I think where Howard County is.
I mean,
right
again, like
it's sandwiched in between Baltimore and D.C., I think. So
you want to say in Maryland?
It's pretty much all the crime is bleeding out.
Sir, listen to me. Listen to me now. Listen. So, do you want to stay in Maryland or somewhere else in the U.S.?
I mean, anywhere. Well, in the U.S.
Okay, in the U.S.
I don't want to go back to India. I don't want to go where my parents live.
I got you. I got you. Now, I got to answer you. Then I got to move on to the next caller. But
absolutely,
I would say anywhere in like the southern part of the U.S. From I would say.
Are you in Tennessee, Anthony?
I'm in Tennessee.
You're not in Virginia?
Yeah, Tennessee
You're
is
not in
good.
Virginia anymore?
Huh?
You're not in Virginia anymore?
No, I'm not in Virginia. Nah, I'm in Tennessee.
Oh wow, okay.
So
nice.
hold on, I got to answer it because I got to move on. Now you can live the Carolinas, the southern part of Virginia, maybe like further out in the rural area. If you want a big city, or a city area. Tennessee is good. Nashville, you probably want to stay out there if you got some money. East Tennessee, don't go to Memphis on West Tennessee. Florida is good. Georgia, not Atlanta, just in the outskirts of Atlanta is good. Texas is good. Mississippi, Alabama is good, but it's just poor. Places like that are pretty good for you. Like some of the northern cold places, Idaho is okay. Don't go to the left coast. But for me, the South is pretty good. Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate it.
I love you, Anthony.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. All right. Shout out to my man Raj from Maryland. What he said, Howard County, which is like the outskirts of Baltimore. The nice area right outside of Baltimore. Let's get to a few more here. The number to call, 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. All right, I'm speaking to you, 757.
Hey, this is Billy Ray Cyrus. I heard you were talking about me, so I had to call. No, I'm kidding. This is Richard. I'm Virginia Beach. We've talked before.
All righty. I'm hearing background noise. Can you turn your stream off for me, please?
It's you. I'll turn you down. Hold on.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
It's all good.
Yeah. Yeah, I was calling up. I was getting I got a Virginia power meter today. I thought it was kind of strange. They said it was a smart meter.
Oh,
They can monitor your home now, I guess, or turn you off or turn you on. I don't know. I just had it put on. I thought that was kind of weird. But what I wanted to say was, I don't know. I think there's a lot of there's all this stuff I've been seeing on the internet about the robots and stuff, and it's just weird. Like, they're trying to say they're more efficient. They don't have to sleep really. You know, they get charged so much, you know, to charge up and then they go to work, and they don't have to deal with the virus. So wouldn't you think if all these people won't, you know, go to work, especially the kids that are supposed to be at Walmart being shop carters, and there's only one now there instead of 5, you know, aren't they going to eventually want to put robots in there because they don't break down from the virus or something? Or I don't know. I just had a little theory about it. What do you think about that?
It's already happening. Like where I live, they have a neighborhood Walmart, one of the smaller Walmarts, and there's no cashiers. There's no cashiers.
Yeah.
It's already here. You already have the machines. Like when I was a kid, you had to go through the line and get rung up by the lady, and that was the whole thing. But then I saw the automated things gradually come in, and that was to the point where you go to the Walmart, a neighborhood Walmart. There's no cashiers. There's people up front that might help you and tell you, okay, they'll point to the cash. They point to the place to go to. Oh, go right there. It's open. If you got a problem, they'll come and help you. But for the most part, you're bagging your own stuff and paying for it. So it's only a matter of time before there's nobody up front. It'll be like a camera in the sky or a robot directing traffic.
Yeah. I mean, like the when you're talking about the cashier things, they even got a camera video looking at you.
Yeah.
I think that's really nosy. It's like, no privacy. You know, they can just look in your wallet. Like, come on now. Like,
and there's no cash at all. You like all the machines, no cash. You got to have your card, so they could track you from your card. They could see your face. I mean,
it's kind of disrespectful. I mean, I try to get in the lines with the people, you know, and but you know, it's just. I think it's just weird because, like, I don't know. I just been seeing how, like, I think some of the ideas are okay, like, but then I see, like, Tesla and all that, and I think, oh, that's cool. It's named Tesla, Nikola Tesla, you know, he's a great inventor. But some of these things that they're doing, it's like they got a phone. He's got a phone now, Elon Musk, that, like, can drive your car. So it's like, if you have a Tesla car, he wants to make an internet that goes to Mars, which we're not even on Mars yet, so we can communicate to Mars. It's really weird. I think the only thing cool about the whole phone thing, and you can drive your car, say your friend's in another town or state, you can get your car to go out there to get your friend and bring him or her to your place, you know? but you can watch your car if anyone's tinkering with it and everything. But, you know, I'm more of a gasoline vehicle guy. I like old Dodges, you know, Mopars and stuff. You know, when they crank up the gas, you know, at the gas pumps, how are they going to force everyone to buy an electric car anyway, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. Like, and that's coming as far as automation of vehicles. Like, I was in El Paso for speaking engagement back in 2017.
Yeah.
And I went down to the hotel's bar and I'm getting something to eat. And I talked to this guy that was right there. He was like, asked me what I was doing. I said what I was doing. And I said, okay, what do you do? He's like, I'm a pilot. And he's talking about, yeah, man, they're trying to automate everything, including my job. Like, they're trying to automate airplanes so there's no pilots anymore. So they got automated airplanes, automated trucks, automated cars. What are you going to do for a living?
They want you to buy the robot so it can go out and work for you so you don't catch the corona.
Yeah. I mean, we've already seen it. We've seen it in Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Get your own personal robot. That'll be your little servant.
The Rosie Jetson, right?
There you go, 100%.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's coming, man. Hey, I was going to say to you, I was going to make a little joke, man. I know you got some calls, but I know you're from this area, Norfolk and all that. I was like, man, I saw this fight out in Norfolk one day, and I was remembering we were talking about the potholes and stuff. They're getting a little bit better with the potholes in Norfolk. But I saw this fight out in Norfolk on the alleyway, and I was like, what is going on? I went around the corner, and I was like, man, this looks like the first level of Double Dragon now. I knew you would laugh at that. I saw these guys throwing stuff at each other and everything. I was like, oh, I got to tell LBL, man, what's going on in Norfolk. I got to tell them the Norfolk news.
That's crazy. Hilarious.
Yeah, but I just want to say hi, man. I'll let you go, man. I know you got all these people, and I'll catch up with you another time. But if you remember my name, it's Richard.
All right. But thank you for the call, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, take care, dude. Later.
Wow, Double Dragon, that's crazy. And the visual in my mind, I can see that 100%. I can see that 100%. Right downtown Norfolk, a bottle getting picked up, a random pipe, and just throwing it at somebody. Yes, I can imagine that 100%. Oh, man, that's hilarious. All right, let's get to the next one here. The number to call, 434. What's one? 434-658-1220. There we go. Let's go to... Hang on one second here. 479 online. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL.
Yes.
This is Andrew Stockton from Arkansas.
All righty. What's going on?
I was just thinking about that Dr. Phil and Matt Walsh. Was that his name? Matt Walsh?
Yes.
I watched that deal, and I was thinking, I think this is just another ploy to push socialism. You know how socialists, they like to control. It looks like to me, when they want to control your pronouns, it looked like to me that they wanted to control what you say. Would you agree with that?
I believe so. It's all about just trying to police speech. That's what it is.
That's right.
So then they can control that, then they control other things. Once you allow them to control the speech on that, then they'll say it for everything else. And then it won't just be speech, it'll be about your behavior and what you tolerate, what you accept.
Right. And, well, they've already destroyed the nuclear family. That's what they're trying to do to begin with. And I think they were talking about that. So they're teaching this to children. This is what really drives me. What right do they have to do that? I mean, why should we cater to these type of people?
We shouldn't, but some people do it because they feel like they don't want to get canceled. They don't want to be seen as homophobic or something like that, so they'll do it anyway. And they know that. They rely on that. That's how they gain compliance, by the fear of being labeled as some type of racist or some kind of phobe.
Yeah. I don't care. I don't get into that. I'll tell them exactly why I think they are. They look like a man. They're a he. I'm sorry. You're a he. If you look like a female, you are her. I'm sorry. You're her. I'm not going to play their games. I don't do it.
That's right. Absolutely.
I don't know.
I'm the same way. That's what I was saying earlier about all these pronouns. It's like, I'm not really trying to play these games because I know what it is. It's not just about how someone feels and all that. No, you're playing the game, and I don't like being played. That's all.
Yeah, same here. Same here. If they got a mental problem to begin with, if they're saying they, them, okay, that's a multiple personality complex issue, I think. If you got to call that person a they, that's a multiple, that's more than one person.
That's right. And again, I'm not going to buy into it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't see how they can even call themselves a they or them or an it or a what the hell is a zim? Zit? Did you say zit earlier?
Zim, Z-I-M. Like, I've literally seen that.
Z-I-M?
Like the pronouns from one person were zer, Z-I-R, and zim, Z-I-M.
That's just ridiculous.
Right.
Oh, man. Well, I just wondered if you thought the same way. It's just a socialist push.
I mean, I feel what you're saying, 100%. I totally agree.
All right. Well, thanks for taking my call.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate you.
You have a good one.
Same to you. All right. Shout out to the caller. Great call. And let's get to a few more here. Let's go 952. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. This is Alex. I've called you before. How are you doing?
I'm well. About yourself?
Well, I called to give you an update. As of by midnight tonight, if I don't get the vaccine, the Navy will begin processing me out.
Okay, so let's pause for a minute. Now, did the recent events, as far as them striking down the private business vax mandate, did that have any bearing on it, or did it not affect it at all?
Oh, no. Nope. They say that I am disobeying a lawful order, which my question is, what is a lawful order? Let me put toxins in my body that right now, I don't know if you've seen it or heard about it, but as of Monday, Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin had a board of over 100 different medical health professionals, nurses, doctors, everybody speak on how we as a country handled the COVID pandemic incorrectly, that early treatments are actually out there and exists, and that Fauci and everybody's ignoring them. And at the very end of it, because it's like a 5-hour video, it's on Rumble, it's called COVID-19, A Second Opinion. They actually have 3 officers from the military that are now having whistleblower lawyers represent them, and they are now trying to subpoena the DOD to stop altering people's medical records because myocarditis is happening exponentially, miscarriages are happening exponentially, all in the military, and they are doctoring the records.
So that's just, straight fraud. It's complete fraud, because if there are records of things that are happening and they're doctoring the records, that's fraud. This should be a high crime, because people's lives are on the line, jobs are on the line.
Oh, it's a Senate hearing. It's in the Senate. Senator Ron Johnson has it. The only place that you're going to find it is on Rumble. It's recorded. It's in the Senate. And yet, of course, legacy media is not talking about it. Nobody is talking about it. I stumbled upon it randomly. And we're talking, it happened on Monday. Well, the 25th, I think, is Monday. Yeah, 25th. Happened, or 24th, sorry, 24th is Monday. Yeah, it's there. They have 3 officers saying that this is happening. I think one of the reports said that in December it was like, oh yeah, we have 1,900 service members that had myocarditis, and by the end of December, supposedly it dropped down to 300. You're telling me that 1,600 people were misdiagnosed with myocarditis? Like what?
Yeah, that's not right at all. That seems like there was some obvious manipulation with the records. People just don't, it's not that many misdiagnoses in the world to make up for the difference. There's some clear manipulation going on.
Oh yeah, and that's where I'm having the problem. I've already reached out to Senator Johnson because I'm trying to. I mean, I'm going to get kicked out, ABL. I'm going to tell you right now. There's no way I am putting that toxin in the body when they don't care. They don't care about me. They don't care about anybody else. It's that they're basically saying, oh, yep, it's a lawful order. We don't care.
So is it going to be dishonorable?
No, I had two options. I had the option to fight it or waive the fight and get a admin SEP under honorable discharge or under honorable conditions.
So if you fought it, what would happen then?
Oh, it would go to a board, and then even if the board agreed with me, it would go back all the way up to the person, which is the CNO, who rejected it in the first place.
So that's not really an option, because fighting it is fruitless because it goes back to the same place. So I bet you buy some time maybe, but it's still going to be the same person making the decision.
Correct.
I
see.
see.
At the same time, if I fight it, I then lose the chance at the honorable, the admin SEP with honorable conditions. I lose that, and it becomes just an admin SEP, which then I have to explain myself why it's not an honorable when I go try to get any benefits for any disabilities at the VA, or if I were to ever try to re-enlist, because the only option I have is to get out with the honorable admin SEP, try to get a waiver when they decide that they shouldn't be forcing this vaccine on people, and then get that waiver and then re-enlist. That is the best option I have left.
So you could still re-enlist. Okay, so now would you have to do
Yes, but I'd have to get a waiver. The waiver is the key, and in the waiver, I would have to explain why I got separated.
Got you.
Yeah.
Now, okay, one more question. Now, if you re-enlisted, would your benefits continue? Like, how long have you been in?
15 years almost.
So if you get an honorable discharge and re-enlist, would you pick up at 15 years, or would it just be from ground zero as far as your benefits?
I would have to, or the benefits would pick up at 15. I would have to serve 5 more years before I'm eligible for retirement. Right. And then I would have to fight for, because I'm actually one of the very few remaining people that's under the old retirement plan. The old retirement plan is that you get a pension based on how many years you've served, or if you're in the reserves like I am, it would be how many points you've accumulated. That system is gone. The government got rid of that like 10 years ago. Now it's down to a system where it's like a 401k. Mm-hmm. The only benefit you get from being active duty is when you retire from active duty now is you get medical coverage right off the bat. That's it. They've changed it to a 401k. The military industrial complex is basically now just like a private corporation with a 401k now.
Right. Wow. Oh, man. So hopefully it works out. Hopefully what happens is they rescind all this, because I'm starting to see the wheels turning. So hopefully you're able to get back to normal life here.
Oh, yeah, I'm hoping for. Luckily, my wife and I made some smart financial decisions, and we only have a mortgage to pay for, which is actually easy to do. So as a result of it, like, it's not going to horribly affect me, but it hurts my general American pride that I can't serve in my country. You know, can't serve for my country for what I thought was a greater good. You know what I mean? That's what hurts the most, to be honest. So.
I understand. Well, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, and if you have a chance, check out that video. I'm telling you, it's just going to blow your mind.
Oh, I will do. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Yep. Bye.
Well, that was a good call. Very good call. So hopefully that works out well for him. I mean, I think it is, because we're starting to see the government tell the truth a little bit. A little bit. Not all the way, obviously, but a little bit. So we'll see. We shall see. All right, let's go to the next call here. Let's go to 801 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, finally got through. This is Mecca. I was just in the chat. I was telling people, because we're truck drivers, and I wanted to call in.
Okay, so are you on the road? Are you on the road right now in Canada?
No, I'm not in Canada. We're actually in Idaho. We're 100 miles away from Canada. But so yeah, we're you know what? I gotta tell you though, the rates are right now are actually pretty ridiculously high, man. Like we've never seen rates this high before. So if you any of your viewers are interested in like making good money, man, I'm telling you, man. Taking home about 7,000 a week, and you're literally the way we got it run is that we run from Idaho to Southern California and Southern California back to Idaho, and we have the weekends off. So because we got kids and stuff, so we take the weekends off, spend time with the family, then we just go right back to work Monday through Friday again. But yeah, it's good money out here, man. But the only reason, obviously, it's because of inflation. With Joe Biden. So it's like, even though we're getting paid a lot of money, the gas, the fuel is killing us.
Okay, so if you get 7,000 a week, just for example, like how much do you keep it at per week?
We try to take home, anywhere from like $1,500 to $2,000 a week, and put the rest in our bank account for hard times.
No, but what I'm saying is, like, okay, if you're getting paid 7,000, are you able to keep that all to yourself, or do you have expenses?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we gross about 14 to 16,000 a week, but after truck payment, trailer payment, insurance, fuel, after all that, we take home about 7. But then we're also running 80%, because my friend, he's the one that has the company, so we're paying him 20% of our gross.
Right.
And so, if we got our own authority, we'd probably take home a lot more. But man, I'm telling you, man, it's great money. We need a lot of truckers out here. I mean, and that is true, man. Like, especially when we get down to Long Beach and San Diego, there's long lines of trucks that we got to wait in line to get loaded up, and then bring all those bananas and watermelon up over here to, Idaho, Utah. So yeah, man, they're hurting for drivers.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing it all the time.
Yeah, man. So I just thought I'd call. Thanks for giving us a shout out. We're trying our best. I'm sorry we take the weekends off. We're not like workaholics like those other truckers that with their dogs and jeans. We actually drive. We it's funny because the way we be driving, because we're Pacific Islanders. So like The Rock, like that kind of culture.
Yeah.
So we be sitting in our semi truck, with shorts, tank top, t-shirt, and flip flops, and we get out of Idaho to go into the warehouse to get our paperwork, and they're like, "Holy crap, you guys are crazy, man!" Like, hey, bro, this is how we grew up in the islands. We're actually immigrants. We migrated from Samoa, and just living the American dream, man. Living the American dream.
Yes, sir.
So. But we have a YouTube channel, for your viewers. If you guys want to check us out, Twin Truckers. We definitely need to get, be more active.
Oh, definitely,
yeah.
man, for sure.
But hey, man, keep up the good work. I listen to you a lot. I'm not trying to be racist or anything, because I'm brown myself, but like I mainly listen to brown and black conservatives because I can relate a lot more with them than I can. Because, dude, I'm telling you, man, I live in Utah, and some of my friends, like, I love them to death, but man, they be joking around, saying some of these jokes that you're like, yeah, you're gonna get canceled one of these days if you bust that joke, out in the public. And so, like, I'm just keeping it real. Like, everybody's got a little bit of bias in them. So I just I love to listen to black conservative, brown conservatives, and just because I can relate. Because I used to be a hardcore Democrat. Coming from Hawaii, that's where we used to live, in Hawaii, and that's all we were spoon-fed. Living in the projects, we were just like, hey man, you got to rely on the government. They're the ones that'll pay your bills and this and that. And finally, my parents were just, because my older brother, he started getting into gang violence, and my mom was like, all right, you know what, we need to move out. And so we go to church a lot, the Mormon, quote unquote Mormon church, and so we moved out here to Utah, and that's where we pretty much decided to start all over. And my parents, they're still kind of Democratic, but we we slowly kind of figured things out and found out like what's the better way to live. Like, man, if people only understood, like, as a conservative, you're a lot more free. You know what I mean? You have your own business, tax write-offs. People don't even know tax write-offs. Like,
right.
It's just a lot more things that you can do as a conservative, and not to mention, like, you know, it aligns with our faith, and so that's the main reason why we were like, dang man, we woke up, you know what I mean, sort of speak, like, and so yeah man, just want to give you a shout out. Thanks so much for all the work you do, and hey, I'm not leaving out my white conservatives. You guys are cool too. You know, I'm just not used to the tight jeans and the cowboy hats, but I love you guys too. Yeah, man, but hey, thanks, bro.
Thanks for the
Take
call,
care.
man. Appreciate you.
All right, brother. Take care.
All right. Shout out to all the truckers. Shout out to the Samoans and the Hawaiians and the Filipinos, all that good stuff. Shout out to y'all. Great people. Fantastic people all the time. Okay, let's get to the last one here. 778, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to? Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All righty, what's going on?
I'm just watching your live stream. It's a few minutes behind. I didn't know you were going to pull me up. But I was just wondering if I could talk to you about Fukushima.
Okay. What about it?
And what Fukushima, everybody has been lying and not telling anybody about what happened with the Fukushima meltdown. It's literally still melting down inside the earth under Fukushima. It's leaking hundreds of thousands of tons of water into the ocean every day. And I think these mRNA vaccines are some sort of cure to try and fix this whole situation. Because the mRNA, you gotta understand what the mRNA is. The RNA in your body can be programmed with this mRNA. And the RNA is what has been damaged in your body, and it creates the DNA. And now your DNA is going to be producing cells that are damaged, and it's going to make you have cancer.
Okay, so I mean, how does that connect to Fukushima as far as the mRNA?
I think what we're going through right now with this whole pandemic is a fake pandemic, just to bring out some sort of trial, like a global drug trial, to try and what is it? Create a cure for Fukushima, or create a cure for radiation poisoning. When this mRNA technology came out, Elon Musk, I'm not sure how he worded it, but he said that this technology has the potential to turn a human into a butterfly through your DNA. So I think all these vaccines and all these boosters and everything are just re-injections of programmed RNA so you don't start forming cancer from Fukushima.
I mean, I guess that could be an explanation. I guess so.
But yeah, if you go back to about 2011, the government of Canada actually turned off the radiation detectors on the west coast of Canada.
Mm.
And they didn't tell anybody about the fallout that is still occurring over Canada, North America, everything like that. It's fucking insane. And I think they didn't tell the world about it because the society would collapse, man. They told everybody that we were in an extinction level event. So many people would commit suicide. So many people would just go crazy. They wouldn't go to work. They wouldn't take care of themselves, nothing. So I think this whole pandemic is some sort of rollout of like a slow disclosure of the apocalypse. That's it. It's fucking insane.
All right, but that'd be it though. I got to get to the end of my show. Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you. All right, so no, let's not curse on the show, but that'd be it. Actually, that's it. That's my last call right there. If you couldn't get on tonight, I'm sorry. It's not my fault. Please blame the white man. But yeah, no more cursing. And hey, man, hopefully we don't have no apocalypse. Hopefully we don't have a Godzilla coming from the ground in Japan and wreaking havoc all over the United States and the whole world. We don't want that to happen. We don't want King Kong and Godzilla fighting in the Pacific Ocean. That's just not the wave. So let's go ahead wrap that on up. But thank you guys for being here. Definitely appreciate you guys. If you enjoyed what you heard so far tonight, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. If you listen to me on your favorite audio streaming platform, give me a 5-star rating, a review, or share whatever you can. I'd appreciate that as well. Thank you to the mods, keeping them trolls in check, keeping everything nice and neat in the chat. I appreciate you guys for what you do all the time. Couldn't do it without you. I got super chats right here. I'm going to read right quick, and then I'm out. Thank you to Mr. Potato Head TV, who says, what are your thoughts on Biden's potential SCOTUS pick? I think I already read that one. I'm not really sure who he's going to pick, so I can't really say that. Let me see. Thank you to Trucking Along with Kersey, who says, keep up the great work. Thank you for that. Thank you to Matthew Phillips, who says, from Convoy Facebook pages, there are already several U.S. truckers that passed the U.S.-Canadian border. Also, Joe Rogan opened today's podcast with a Canadian guest. Quote, your country is in revolt, unquote. Then shows a Convoy clip. Matthew also says, sorry for shouting off stuff in Canada. I know we're not the U.S., but whenever globalist stuff goes on in one country, it happens to another Western country. It happens both ways when people get fed up. That's correct. Thank you to Farno Faye, who says, hey, ABL, it's been a minute. How are you? Did you see the black nationalists confront Fresh and Fit? Oh, I didn't see that one. What happened? Was this recently? Wait a minute. I might have to look at that. Your thoughts? I've not seen it. I'm going to check it out. Also, F that SOB FJB. There you go. Bo versus Windshield says, sorry for being late. We worker ants have to make the country run while the Democrat grasshoppers pursue their plan for the future, hoping fairy dust. Leo Mazzina says, I just thought about a worst case scenario with the possibility of a new Supreme Court justice. Harris steps down and she is named the new Supreme Court justice, then put Hillary as VP. Man, that's a nightmare scenario right there, but that ain't going to happen at all. Thank you to Farna Faye, who says, thoughts on Tasha K having to pay Cardi $1.5 million. She ain't going to pay that. That's a judgment, but she ain't going to pay. They would censor those who tell the truth, but not those who openly lie. Good point. Thank you to Les, who says, hello, ABL and fam. Great show. We'll call in next time. Your biggest little fan stated that tomorrow she will identify as ABL. There you go. God bless and have a wonderful night, everyone. Thank you for that. Thank you to, hold on, Bob K. MIT, who says that fight took place on the corner of Tazewell and Granby. I saw that during the show. That's hilarious. Man, that's a whole little fight club right there. Good grief. That corner could be most certainly right downtown. No way. If I go out there at a certain time of night, I'm bringing my pistol ASAP. Thank you to Silas Larson, who says, I'm in DC. People are fired for ignoring pronouns. Wow. See what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about right there. That's my whole thing. It's like, why are you going to make me lose my job for not calling you by your pronouns? My pronouns are crystal ball. My pronouns are submarine. My pronouns are peanut butter and jelly. And if you don't call me that, then you're going to get fired. Matter of fact, my pronouns change depending upon what time of the day it is. At 11:57, my pronouns are Bart Simpson. At 3:03, my pronouns are Starry Night. Call me that or you're racist and you're going to get fired. I'm not playing that game. I'm just not going to do it. Because it's a game. Nothing more than a game. But anyway, he continues. This even happens for not listing their own pronouns out of principle. They just find another excuse. It's crazy. Thank you to Farna Faye, who says, yeah, look up Fresh and Fit with Dr. Shabazz. Okay, I'll check it out. I will check it out. But that'll be a wrap for me. Thank you guys. You guys have been the best audience as always. But until my next live, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.